Yeah, it's not over just at the moment, actually. So
It's not over still. Okay.
Yeah,
Good.
it's
I'll be able to catch that hopefully.
yeah, hell yeah. It's we're almost there. We've got three more games I think we got to go. So we did the one game of the semi-finals. So we've got 2 more games to work at the final. So yeah, 3 more games we've got.
I think the last one I saw was with Necro. I think that's the last game I saw.
Yeah, we're against Pebble, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think my favourites to win the tournament at the moment are, I mean, everybody actually who's still in it could very much win the tournament. Maybe Sentinel will come back and win the game. Yeah, but guys, hello everybody. Welcome to today's stream. Thank you very much for watching. I'm here today with ZAN-VT, who is a VTuber PR guy and business consultant. Zan, if you want to say hello and introduce yourself.
Well, hello everyone. I think Maulington already gave a pretty decent summary. I guess the one thing you could add is that I'm French. Very important thing to know. So yeah, I do have a bit of a suave accent. But yeah, I guess yeah, that's a pretty good summary. You know, I'm also very much a big fan of VTubing and content creation in general, which is why I do what I do. Because you know, there are a lot of business people around, but many of them are not as much of a VTuber fan as I like to think I am.
Yeah, and I think that's what separates some of the more, I guess, successful and more aware people in this industry from those who don't do so well. It's like, I think you do need some form of genuine, you need to be a fan of the industry really so you can get it and then give proper advice.
If we can already start shooting some shots over there, Brave Group is very epitomic of it, where they recruit, you know, capable people, but people in like not the VTubing scene or the entertainment scene in general. They hire ex-corpo, as in like video games and stuff like that, which, you know, some of them are somewhat competent, but, you know, managing a video game development and the way the public relation of, you know, setting up a video game for success is largely different from setting up a VTuber to succeed, as in like their debut. It's very different skill sets, I like to think. So,
yeah,
a video game, it's set in stone. A content creator, they could say something that some people might not like. You know, it's much more fluid.
Yeah, exactly. I think the Brave Group are mostly venture capitalist types, and I think the problem is with Brave Group's management is that they might have a lot of experience with stuff like video gaming or tech and how to kind of like minimize costs and do that kind of product work. But it's completely different with VTubing, because with VTubing you have to manage the complexities of the culture. It's not like video game development, right? Yeah.
VTubing is very much its own bubble, for better and worse.
Yeah, it's like with video game development, the way people like tend to sell it at the corporate level is it's like, oh, we're making Grand Theft Auto meets Minecraft is how they do it. But VTubing doesn't work that way. You can't take what another VTuber corporation does and say, oh, well, we're going to copy this. We're going to be like Phase Connect meets, you know, V Shoujo, right?
How many stories I've heard of like talking with like even some of my clients were like, yeah, I worked at this corp and they were like, we want you to be the next Gura.
Yeah. How are you? What's your plan to beat Gura?
It's terrible, because this is like the premier comparison I always heard. For some reason, these corpo people just know Gura. It's always Gura or Suisei. Those are the two generally that I hear the most being compared to.
Oh, is it Suisei as well? I mean, I guess that would make sense.
I don't know if you're aware, but Suisei is a fucking mega star in Japan. Like, she's topping music charts.
Oh, really? I didn't know she was that popular, actually. Yeah. Fuck it out.
No, yeah. It's very funny to me whenever people talk about Hololive and not mention Suisei as in, like, being a top talent, because, like, if you live in Japan or know anyone who's Japanese, they will tell you Suisei is fucking monster truck.
I do really like Suisei, but yeah, I didn't know she was that popular, honestly. I thought it was like the top ones were like Pekora and Koroni and stuff. I didn't know she was up there as well.
Just pull up her music clips and you'll see they have millions of views. Like, yeah, she's her, you know.
No, good for her though. Good for her, considering like how she. Yeah, I know her journey of how she became like got into VTubing and got to where she was. So it's good to see that kind of success story. I like that.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, I guess that's a decent summary.
Yeah, I guess one thing I'd like to ask you on the subject of VTuber corporations is kind of, it's been going on for a while now, but now particularly with FaZe Connect's Yap, there's been a lot of talk I see from people who think the time of the VTuber corporation is over, and that it's going to be the age of indie supremacy. And I'm not sure I agree with that statement, honestly. I do think there is a place for VTuber corporations in the West, and I do think they do have many distinct advantages over independent VTubing. But I'd be interested in hearing your thoughts about the future of corporate VTubing.
Well, people have been saying this is the age of indie VTubers since 2022, and last I checked, the top VTuber are still all from corporations. Now, granted, most of them are from like Japanese corporations, but like that doesn't deter that point that, while yes, indie VTubing is always going to be a thing, and it's bigger than it was like from 3 years ago. Indie VTubing still remains king for a lot of reasons. I don't expect Hololive or Nijisanji to falter so hard that the bigger VTuber ever are indies. It's still gonna stay corpo because just of how easy it is for them to scale up someone's popularity, because of the whole corporate structure. They're able to organize events. Because I think that's one of the things people forget is that it's an investment, right? For example, talk about a concert or something. It's a giant investment, and so if you ask a bank, are you willing to invest in like this random celebrity, internet celebrity who yes does bring a lot, but at the end of the day, it's still just one person talking to you about their pet project or something.
Yeah.
Whereas with a corporation, you have a front, you have everything, you have numbers, you have a bunch of legalese talk. It feels just much more organized in a sense. And the VTuber who could be organizing her concert by herself may have experience organizing event and stuff, which would help. But in terms of like risk and stuff, if for example she needs an investment from a bank or something, well, people are they're gonna look and they're gonna be like, yeah, but there's those people, they're a corporation. It's much more secure to do business with them, because if anything goes wrong, we can just call their law department and get stuff fixed.
Yeah.
So it's here's an example. To me, if you really want to say the age of indie is like now, is when there will be an equivalent to HoloFest for indie VTuber, and that it is equivalent in success in terms of like people attending, revenue generated, all of that. Until I see something like HoloFest for indie VTuber, the age of indie VTubing is a fucking meme. I don't believe in it.
Yeah, no, I think
it's not just about like the numbers, who's successful or not. It's also about cultural impact, and all of us has absolutely massive cultural impact in like Asia in general. Now less in the West and stuff, of course, but it's I still feel like it can be felt when we see like some of the first few documentaries and news coverage that's coming out from like traditional media corporation. They're taking pictures from all of us as examples. So it still does have this cultural impact in a sense, just not in the same way it does in Asia, because of course it happens in Asia. It's a primarily the Asian culture, so there you go.
No, quite. I think one of the things that VTuber corporations offer as well, particularly when it comes to collaborate, it supports collaborative working, because it's like all the time we see with indies is they're always stabbing each other in the back.
Yeah, it's inherent to a corporate structure. Because if one person succeeds, it's and like gains a bunch of like followers, attention, whatnot, it's gonna trickle down onto other people as well. Sometimes more than others, but it's still gonna happen.
Yeah, you're far more likely to get those concerts and get that sustainability as well when you're working in a group, when you're backed by a corporation.
FaZe is a great example. Their biggest first talent was like definitely Pippa, and like her popularity like started to trickle off on other people, and people started watching the other talent from Gen 1 and were like, oh, they're kind of good as well and stuff, and they started watching them and stuff. That's a lot of the time that's how it goes with corpo fans, where they start watching for just one person, and then slowly they start watching one, two more people. Now you're still gonna have your super fan who just watch that one person, but because of the proximity, the collabs that are very that are almost work necessity, I'd say. The point, I know some corporation, like, they don't impose collab per se, but it's like, hey, it would be very nice if you collab with your genmates. The talk.
But it does a good thing. The good thing about corporations is that they do build a community of fans, which, as you say, kind of trickles to the others. It creates a shared set of, I guess, like, community norms and memes. You get a bunch of guys all get together, they all like the same thing, and it just transfers across the various talents. And that's obviously, independent VTubers can kind of get a community, but they tend to want to watch the one VTuber that they are following in the first place. So there is some degree where it does get shared. You get two people who work very well together, then that fandom does get shared, but it's far more likely to happen in a VTuber corporation.
Usually the fandom are shared between people who are friends. Let's take a great example. One of my Oshis, Lucy Pyre. I don't know if you've heard about her.
I know Lucy. Yeah.
Pretty neat. I own her merch. Hello. I am drinking from her cup right now. That's fun.
Her wily charms have seduced you, have they?
The thought have seduced me. Oh, that's so insulting to Lucy. She's not like that. She's just a degenerate.
Out of curiosity, what is it about Lucy Pyre that makes her she's your Oshi, right?
Yeah. You see, here's the thing. I had one time where I was in Lumi's chat and I talked about how I watch different people, and she called me a whore, and that's like a cold memory of me being a VTuber fan. Because yes, I am very much a Oshi whore. I watch multiple VTubers, and I Oshi different VTubers, yes. So I have multiple, but when it comes to like Lucy Pyre specifically, it's just that, she's like, so she tries her best to be unabashedly herself at like every moment. Like, she's a turbo weeb. I mean, she just got like her degree for like Japanese language, so the turbo weeb. And she just loves like culture and art and degenerate things and Japan in general. She's basically like the early 2000 weebs. Like,
that's a good way of saying it. I think that's.
I just love that about her, because I share similar interest and affection of like different like cultural products, and the fact that she's so herself about it, and she's not afraid to say it's about it's an H manga, and I love those. There's just something kind of endearing hearing her yell that into the microphone. And she's also kind of like self-aware about like how silly VTubing and yelling out loud about how much of a degenerate she is. I feel like that self-awareness also allows her to like make fun of herself, and I really feel like that enhances what she does. And she's openly in a two-way parasocial relationship with her fans, so that's kind of nice.
I think that's like a common thing I find. I don't know if it's the same with like Eastern VTuber fans.
It depends on the talents, but I feel like it's more common toward people who like embraces the idol roots of VTubing more. I feel like it's more common among those type of people.
I find a lot of Western VTuber fans in particular seem to do value, I guess, the relatability and familiarity in their VTubers. So they like that connection element of it. I don't know if that's a thing in the Eastern side of VTubing. I'm not really sure like what the major differences are between East and West when what they value from VTubers, because I kind of understand the vague concept of idol culture, but I don't really understand how that applies to like Japanese VTuber fans, because Western VTuber fans tend to, it's not exactly like they just want to have their VTubers be like regular streamers with anime girl masks, but it's kind of they want a curated experience, but not too much, so that they can kind of relate to the real human being behind it.
You know, it's not that different at the end of the day. It's just that like they have more pet peeves on specifics. For example, you know, I'd say that like both East and West, there's this idea that like your favorite content creator should be quote unquote like perfect, like in terms of like morally speaking.
Yeah.
Just like they express it in different way, and I feel like it's like, for example, in the West, it's much more gonna be about morality, or the good person, this and that, whereas in the West, it's more the East, it's more gonna be about like purity of character, like do they behave like a good person? Are they a good, useful member of society?
No.
Are they a virgin? You know, those sort of thing. You know, it's similar, but there's that just slight difference because of different cultural norms. Whereas in, you know, generally in Japan, for example, there's all this. They historically have been very prompt on things like honor, purity, loyalty, stuff like that. They much more value that. Whereas I feel like the West, as of late, we've much more valued like things like honesty, you know, speaking up your mind, being loud.
Yeah, I think that's accurate. Yeah.
You know, it goes back to like that very easy comparison of like Western society are much more individualistic, whereas Eastern society are much more collectivist.
More communal, yeah, more collectivist, exactly. Yeah. My Oshi talks about the benefits of eugenics. That could be several people at this point.
Isn't that Daisy?
That could be Lumi.
I know it's not Daisy.
That could be Jelly.
No, it must be Daisy. Come on, dude! I literally have it saved on my phone because it's generally one of the funniest clips of all time. Just Daisy like yelling eugenics, eugenics, eugenics like 20 times in a row.
I mean, I mean, Lumi's done it. Jelly's done it. I think eugenics is going to be the next big Phase Connect thing.
God damn it! You know, they should start playing Magic the Gathering. I don't know if you're aware of Magic the Gathering lore. There's this guy, he's called Yawgmoth, and he's very important to like Magic lore and canon. And he was the leader of the eugenist party. So yeah, I'm waiting for a. I want a DZ Yawgmoth cosplay. Honestly, would be pretty lit. I think that'd be amazing.
I'm really disappointed Phase Connect. None of the Phase Connect talents have played Oshi Push with each other yet. I want to know when they're going to play Oshi Push with each other. I want to see that.
Want to organize a tournament between the Phase talent?
Oh God! I mean, I'd love to, but at the same time, it's like, oh God, I want to stay the hell away from that. I don't want to get involved with them whatsoever, though. I want to stay well clear of them. You know,
I mean, if you don't want to do it, I'll do it.
You can do it, sure. I don't want to do it. I want to stay away from all that. I want to stay away from them.
Think of the content.
I'll coach you. Yeah, then you go and do it for us.
Okay, good. I'll do it for the people. I did it for the people.
You know, from a business side of things, in terms of Western VTubing, I'm like wondering what new VTuber corporations. Well, it's like I wonder what kind of new VTuber corporation can arise that will be successful, because we've had kind of Phase Connect come, and they're kind of like the based, weird, girl failure, early 2000s humor kind of internet people. We then get Viador come along. They're doing pretty well for themselves, I think, and they're like they're like a Vtuber kind of corporation. It's like I'm wondering what else would work with Western VTuber corporations. What other kinds of cultures can be successful?
Well, good thing is I just sent you a DM because I actually talked about that at the start of the year. Well, just before the end of last year, actually, where I was like thinking and kind of like how could you say that, like fantasizing, I guess, about like trying to imagine, to project myself in the future and see like what would be the future of like corporation in Western sphere. And I'm thinking that it's much more going to be focused on like specific sub niches. Because like we've seen like for example, VShojo trying to be like the big normie VTuber company. That obviously didn't work. And I think that the fact that they adopted that brand of like trying to appeal to everyone yet no one is part of the reason why it failed.
I see.
Obviously
Yeah.
there's a bunch of other stuff which like stealing charity money, that's gonna be
Yeah, that's gonna be a big one. Yeah, no, don't do that.
yeah, it's gonna be a big one. But I think like people focus on that a lot, and also I've forgot a bit of like how like the corporate structuring itself, like the brand itself as like an identity just didn't work. Like like most of the talent had like nothing in common outside of they were friends or friends of friends. Like there's no like there's personal connections, but there's no like, I guess you could say, brand connection. Like you put, for example, you could like Garnt's girlfriend next to Zentreya or Melody. Yeah, they make sense together. Now you put them next to I don't know, what's her name again, Enya. Then you're like, I mean, they don't really have a lot in common.
Yeah.
In terms of like fan base or like the things they focus on, the type of content they make. Not everyone has to be like the same kind of person or in the same structure.
No.
But you need to share sort of
it
vibe or image together.
It needs to be complementary if it's not similar.
Yeah, it's complementary. Whereas it felt too clashing in VShojo. I mean, they had like no visual that were common between them. At one point they had the letter thing that could have worked, but they just never invested into it.
Yeah, I think one problem with VShojo as well is that I don't think enough of the members, particularly some of the bigger ones, were really invested enough in the group, like as a collective, to get the group successful. They were like just isolated little beings in their group, so it's kind of like, well, what's the point of having VShojo then if you're just gonna focus on yourselves, not collab or do much with your corp mates? Well, corp quote unquote mates, I suppose.
Yeah, not to diss anyone, but truth be told, I think that the only person who generally tried is Zentreya.
I agree. Yeah, I said I must didn't really do enough.
Like a brand, a group thing. Like Aramas were just doing her stuff. And pretty much what everyone else did as like a base. Like it's not that like they hindered each other or anything. They just didn't do anything together to try and build something greater than the sum of its parts. They just weren't interested into that. Which it's essentially what a corporation is. It's a thing, collaborative effort of the greater summer of each part. But seemingly no one was interested into that outside of like Zentreya, which is why I'm surprised she hasn't started anything yet, because she seemed to be really into the idea. So, maybe Zentreya company in the future, who knows? But she'd be a VTuber I see who would generally try to do something like that. But whether that's a good idea or not, that's another topic for debate.
Yeah, I guess so. It takes a lot of energy, takes a lot of time and money, and I can just imagine it. So it's probably quite miserable being a genuine like top level indie Twitch VTuber because of all the ruthless background mean girlness that probably goes on behind the scenes. It can probably get quite emotionally draining very quickly.
And that's without talking about the Dan Clancy files.
The Dan Clancy files, yeah. Oh, creepy perverted old man, yeah.
I mean, if it was just that, there's also like the mistreatment of VTuber, how Fleshtuber and VTuber are treated differently, all of that. I've talked about it with Armchair enough. It's we're a broken record on that topic at this point. If there are still people out there who believe that like VTuber are not getting mistreated on Twitch, they're just blind, or it's because they have like a personal reason to like not want to believe it, as in they want to be part of the Twitch's cliques, or they want to be in the good graces or Twitch or whatnot. Like anyone with eyes can see that VTuber are clearly treated differently, and everybody who says the opposite is basically like it's an admission that like you're in it for yourself and nothing else, which that's fine. Like, don't try to act like it's because you're a better person or because you're more fair or something. Like, No, just tell it how it is. I'm just in it for myself. Let's be honest about it, and nobody will care.
Exactly. That's exactly right. I think one of the major problems from a PR standpoint for some VTubers is that they aggressively over virtue signal about how nice and lovely and how good people they are, but then their actual actions completely betray what they say they are, and they're just like ruthlessly ambitious. And it's like, I don't have a problem with people who are just here to make money, get popular, and advocate for themselves. Just don't pretend that you're all sweet and lovely and cuddly and bestest friends and wholesome with people when you're that way. Just be honest about it, honestly, or just shut up and don't say anything. Really, saying nothing's also a choice.
I mean, I like to think I'm pretty honest about it. There's a lot of people I don't like, and that's fine. You're fine to not like people.
Yeah.
Just you don't have to like go out of your way to like sabotage them.
Yeah, exactly.
You can not like people and talk shit, but like going out of your way to sabotage someone, that's when you get into the whole mean girl behavior stuff.
Yeah, exactly. You can compete. Like competition doesn't have to involve sabotage. Yeah. You can just build your own brand.
Competition is a good thing.
Exactly. Yeah, competition is good.
It's motivation. Competition is good.
Diamonds are built under pressure. Exactly. Pressure is a good thing for people. I was going to make another question about. I guess like kind of going back to again talking about VShojo not probably doing enough to keep the group sticking together. It's like you can kind of see the problems with VShojo as well when they kind of handled the leaving of Silvervale and what's her face Vey. When you've got people like Fruit as well, like basically stabbing her own corpo mate in the back, and it's like, that's crazy how that kind of lack of solidarity was in VShojo. And I guess it kind of shows like the advantages
pretty
of
cutthroat, eh?
Yeah, it's like it shows the advantages of having a proper professional corporation behind you instead of like just a group of like an agency and affiliation of people under one brand. Is that well, it's not always going to happen, as we've seen recently, but you would hope that, again, a company would ensure that everybody's singing from the same hymn sheet, that there's one message, and that they stick together in solidarity instead of like racing to throw each other under the bus so they don't alienate their own part of the fan base.
I mean, if you really don't agree with it, just don't say anything. You don't have to go out of your way and like, again, you don't have to go out of your way and sabotage people. Just don't say anything if you really don't like the person and think they're not worth your support. Which I believe is what some people did in VShojo.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm trying to think if like, I think there was some people who like just didn't like publicly like try to wish goodbye to them and stuff. Like they just didn't comment on it. They were just like, okay, bye, take care, best wishes, and that was that. Just the calm, professional, adult thing to do, and that's just fine. You don't need to throw more water under the bridge.
Yeah, I guess one of the problems as well that VShojo had in terms of culture is it did build a community of people who are the kinds of people to be like, they demand that silence isn't the answer. They're like, we need you to comment and say something about the situation because I guess they're kind of like...
I mean, that's more of a Twitch culture thing.
It's a Twitch culture thing, yeah.
VShojo was the Twitch VTuber thing. Yeah.
I guess my question is, like, why does Dan Clancy and Twitch management have a thing for VTubers particularly? Is it to stop them from competing with the e-whores? Like, I don't get it. Why they're discriminating?
Well, we don't have like any kind of like information that gives us a definitive answer. But one of the main thing is definitely like the fact that a lot of VTuber are anonymous, so like they that does like help them in a sense. And there's also the whole, like, let's be honest, there is the whole e-girl thing, because as we know, they definitely get preferential treatment. Like, you literally have Morgue Pie who gets banned like for a month or a week, like every quarter or so, and like she's at like her 10th ban, I think, recently. Like she's still just fine. Like she collabed with Dan Clancy. Like they were on screen together. And that's like perfectly fine. But then you have people like Extra Emily, who's like breaking traffic laws and driving recklessly, waving a gun at the camera, and then go. And then what do? They invite her to make like an April for becoming the CEO of like Twitch. Like, really? You're gonna make that sort of joke with her?
It's crazy what some people.
That work.
It's like with Hassan as well, right? It's like Hassan gets away with like terrorism, death threats, calling, you know, all this shit, and he just gets away with it scot free. Whereas it's like a VTuber shows a little bit of VFi, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, you're the permanent ban, never allowed to stream again, slapping a dog, yeah. But yeah, it's just an issue with. It's one of the issues that's starting to come into VTubing now as well. Although I guess you could say it's probably been around for a long time now. Is ideological capture of VTubing and like its institutions by bad political actors. Really, you know, it's like you got the off-Kai drama with Kershaw conventions, etc.
Yeah, I feel like the off-Kai drama is kind of what exploded it. So, you know, even more reason to hate the off-Kai staff who were responsible for this decision, because generally, if like a couple of people got upset, like that's whatever. Like generally, if they hadn't acknowledged it, I don't think like we'd have such an ideological push from both sides to get like into videoing.
Yeah,
like that was generally like probably one of the biggest Tri-Sen effects of like as of like the past 5 years in videoing.
Yeah, it's weird because it wasn't always this way. Well, getting away from VTubing, it wasn't always this way. Like anime was originally like the when anime first started becoming big in the West, it was more of a
anime. It's because it's easy to explain. It's because a financial incentive appeared. That's literally just that. It's just capitalism.
Okay, yeah.
Because you know, like it became big. It became big in the West, and like the generation who like watch anime back in like the 90s and the early 2000s became adult who could spend their money, who had job and everything. So yeah, obviously like because of that, well, companies just adapted. They decided to start proposing more anime and stuff, and same with like politicians and stuff. They noticed that like anime was popular among their voter base, so they started engaging with it. No, it's a lot of things can just simply be explained by like looking at like God, people, it's such a meme term, but like socioeconomic factor is a genuine science as much as it is memed upon. And like when you look at it's exactly that, you know, the people who watch anime and stuff, they became spending and voting adults, so therefore to make sure that they voted for them, quote unquote, whichever political party that is. That's why I'm using it that way, because that's great. You can put everyone in there. Decided to start engaging with it, started thinking about it, started thinking how they could influence it so that it would push for their ideology rather than the ideology of the opposing party or whatever. You know, it's unfortunately terribly logical and predictable.
Yeah, and like you said before as well about it being capitalism being an element, I think like as we've seen with gaming, it's the same with anime and VTubing. The market becomes bigger, more money's in there, you get the traditional industry guys come in, and then they introduce that whole, you know, they're clueless and they introduce the whole censorship thing, sponsors, you know, and all that
it's
political
shit. It's pretty easy to explain as well. The people who started gaming a lot in the 90s and the 20s, well, they became adults with job and stuff. And then their kids, well, because the parents love gaming, well, they introduced gaming as like one of the early hobbies to their kid. And so now you have both the kids and the adult on the gaming. So, you know, again, if you take your time to think about it, as in like socioeconomics, it makes perfect sense and is perfectly logical. There's like nothing surprising about it. Just that same with PR and a lot of other things. Very often it's people looking at the forest and looking at the trees and missing the forest.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I think
it's very similar with the Gundam stuff as well. Everyone is talking about this as like a political spurg out.
Yeah.
When I'm gonna be like, again, you're missing the forest you're looking at the tree for the forest, brother. There's so much more problem with that. Like I've yet to see many people acknowledge.
Okay, like what are you talking about there? What specifically?
I mean, to me, it's like so apparent, and it's pretty crazy that nobody's been thinking and talking about it more. I'll be as transparent as I can be with this. I've had
Sure.
multiple people ask me for like advice and like what do I think about like the Gundam stuff and
Hey,
thing, because
George.
obviously like it's gonna have ripple among different people in the industry and stuff, because being so linked in with the convention organization and the convention scene in the US, well, Gundam having a bit of a moment is obviously gonna have ripple effect on the entire NA scene. And I think like the big thing that people are missing are all the conflict of interest that this is currently generating.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, let's take it like this. Let's say, due to our unsavory behavior, which is not just the political spurg out, it's also all the merge stuff, all the creating like tensions between talents, all the unsavory stuff, the creep shots, all of that. Let's say that FaZe decides to fire or cut their contract, cut her loose, cut Gundam loose. Here's the problem. She's dating this guy who is like one of the main people in the convention scene in the US. What is he gonna do? I mean, he's definitely gonna want to work with FaZe, obviously, because they just fire his fucking girlfriend. So what about FaZeCon then? But then the issue is that FaZeCon is it doesn't just involve him; it's also involve dozens of different actors. And then you also have the fans in there who are just gonna be bonking around and stuff. The problem is that once someone so connected creates a problem like that could have so many ripple effects that it's created a whole lot of like conflict of interest, as in like nobody can really make a good decision because people are just so interlinked with each other that making a decision could create a domino effect.
Sorry. Sihara channel.
Did someone say something funny in chat?
Yeah, sorry. No, I think you're right. I think you hit it spot on. I was going to ask you a question, but I just want to say, as Ihara says in the chat, we're both white, by the way. 2 white Europeans in stream talking about brown women that need correction.
I mean,
we're both from colonial powers as well, which makes it even better.
We don't need to talk about that. We don't need to talk about what France did in Vietnam.
I know all about that. I studied it for 3 years, bloody hell. But
really,
I did actually. Yes, I did specialize. Well, I would say specialize. One of my specializations when I was doing my history degree at university was Vietnam.
What's your specialization?
Yeah,
colonialism.
Colonialism. Yeah, French Indochina and Vietnam.
It's pretty funny because we do have like a very large Vietnamese community in France, which I
oh really? Yeah.
I very much have a great time with them. I love those. They're great people. Very welcoming,
I like them as
very
well.
Smart.
They're very funny as well. I can find they're quite crazy compared to
great
Westerners.
humor.
Yeah.
Great sense of like making fun of themselves. They do that a lot.
Yeah, so Tor here says, so Zan, are you saying that the problem is that the VTubing scene, or maybe the convention scene, is so incestuous that issues are bound to appear? Is his question.
I mean, I'm sure, dozens of people have already said that the scene is very incestuous, and yes, it is. And by itself, it's not a problem. It's more so a problem when people accumulate position of power, and the issue is that, Gunbun has accumulated different position of power in like both she's signed with FaZe, she's like an official cosplayer, she's just not like a consultant or like a free agent. No,
she's a professional cosplayer.
Yeah, official. Like when you could say Gunbun's job is being a professional cosplayer for FaZe Connect. She's basically like an employee, quote unquote. I'm saying
she's like a rep almost, isn't she? Yeah.
She represents the brand to an extent. But then at the same time, she's also a professional cosplayer for other companies, which, is fine. But then you wonder, well, what if these companies start being in a feud and stuff? Like, well, what about then? And then she's also, very in with everything that's like conventions and stuff. Well, then what happens when someone misorganize a convention or something, and it's like one of her employer, or like with a bunch of her friends who are related to her employer and whatnot. The issue is not that people are in position of decisions, because it's always going to happen eventually. The problem is that when it starts accumulating in a way that creates conflict of interest within different parties.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, one question I have as well, though, again, because I'm not really familiar with the whole convention cosplayer, I guess, kind of scene, but it just seems really bizarre to me that a cosplayer and conventions can really have, I guess, that much influence over the decisions of a medium plus sized VTuber corporation. I mean, are like cosplayers and conventions really that important to the growth of companies and VTubers in this industry? Because I would assume that most people just watch on the streams anyway. They don't really need that extra element of it.
They are kind of important. There are definitely companies who overspend on conventions when it's very unnecessary for them. But when you get to the size of like Idol, well, it's not Idol anymore. What's their new name? Chromium?
Oh yeah, Chromium. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, when you get to the size of companies like Chromium, Globy, who's now dead, so rip. When you get to the size of like, Face Connect, or
Chromoshift,
you're sort of expected to be at these conventions, Like people expect you to be present because you're such a big name in the industry that you kind of have to. Otherwise, it's about the brand legitimacy and the brand prestige.
Yeah, I guess the thing as well, right, is it's throwing a bone to your VTubers as well. I guess it's they do want to be 3D stage performing idols. They need to do it at the cons.
Convention is also like a great moment for like a community in general. It's a community gathering, It's nice. You get to meet your VTuber, get to meet their fans. They get to talk one-on-one. They get to sell overpriced merch.
Cheap shit overpriced merch. Yep. I saw that at Expo.
Yeah. Which I have bought some. I'm gonna admit it. I bought some face stuff. By the way, if they ever release those, I actually bought like a pair of like the Pippa. What do you call that in English? Like the type of shoes you wear once you're at home.
Oh, slippers.
Not sandals. Yeah, slippers. I bought the Pippa slippers for my sister. She finds them very comfy. She wears them every day now. So, product review from my sister. Some of the best slippers she's ever had.
I thought you were going to say you bought them for yourself for a minute there. I was like, did you buy the femboy socks as well?
No, I bought them for my sister.
Okay. Oh, okay. Sure, your sister. Okay, yeah, I believe you. Okay, gotcha. Sister. Yeah. All right.
No, I'm not joking.
All right. He bought them for his sister, guys.
You've met me. You know what I look like. I don't look like a fanboy.
No, you don't, to be fair. You are one of the more manlier VTuber fans that I've come across, yeah.
What does that mean about VTuber fans?
I know, right? Yeah, I mean, a lot of VTuber fans, man, they are peak fanboy material, peak fanboys. It's curiously about.
It's pretty funny because then I think of like all the VTuber who I'm friending with or who I know for a fact absolutely detest femboys, and I think about the fact that like a lot of their audience are femboys. It's funny because the people who hate vocally femboy the most generally have the biggest femboy audience. There must be a correlation there. I want to believe it. There's something there.
It's crazy how many femboys are into like VTubing, and I don't know if it's a general VTubing thing or the phase community.
Think about it. Quirky, very eccentric, very outspoken.
Very feminine, I suppose. Yeah. Very camp. Yeah.
It just makes sense. But to go back of the original point, once you get at a certain size, you're sort of expected to be there. I mean, imagine if like Vshoujo didn't go to Offkai, which is like.
But that's the camp by Nikki, though, too.
Word, the biggest VTuber convention in the West. God, I hate saying that. go to other cons, guys. Offkai is really bad.
Yeah.
I know LA, whatever.
I fucking know. God, I hate Offkai. I hate California. Like, why could they just go to Texas or somewhere pretty good?
Yeah, there are a lot of other cons, guys. Please go spend your money elsewhere.
Yeah, why would I want to go to a place that's ridiculously expensive, the crime is high, and everybody there hates me, right?
Yeah. I mean, you go there to see the local crackheads,
Oh,
plaster
yeah.
the walls in feces or something. I don't know. I watched a Martin Sinopet's video and he did a whole bit on that. It was pretty funny how he thought he met all the local crackheads once he was at LA. That was pretty funny. That was very funny.
I'd like
I
to...
recommend watching it. But yeah, it would be like people would like endlessly make fun of Vishojo, right? Like, how you're so big, why are you not there? Like
Yeah.
fans almost demand it because it is expected.
Yeah, I suppose so. I'd really like to see that, I guess, the financials, because I don't know if it was a real leak, but I think Low Effort Clips about 2 years ago or something around about this time, like leaked a FaZe Connect like financial report, and if I recall at the time,
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, it was like 2/3 of their funding came from the coffee sales, and like sponsors
I
didn't
still
make up
think
a
it's
lot
like-
of it.
I still think because of how this FaZe Connect has evolved and stuff, I think it's less now. But if you ask me now, I'd guess it's still between the 40 to 60% line.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure coffee sales still makes the the vast majority of FaZe Connect earnings, especially because when it comes to like sponsorship and stuff, obviously talent are gonna take a sizable cut, and that's normal because they're the one making the content and stuff.
Yeah.
So the company can only make so much money out of like sucking dry the sponsorship money. 'Cause, yeah.
I guess that's one thing as
They
well.
do get a percentage because they provide the platform, the company, the assets, but it's just a fee. The most of the money still ends up in the pocket of the talent.
Yeah, Azahara actually brings up a really brilliant point here, is that they could, like, FaZe Connect could go to Skid Row, which is like a massive homeless, like, almost city, like a tent city of homeless people, and just give them, like, a bunch of leftover FaZe Connect merch, like Pippa hoodies and shit like that. And then when it keeps getting brought up in the news in America, when they talk about the homeless and the Fent issues, you'll see all these homeless people wearing Murray EN hoodies, and I think that would be fantastic.
Release Murray Fent hoodie and give them the homeless shelters.
Exactly, yeah.
I hate how that's generally a good idea. I absolutely detest it.
I could just see it now, like news people just recording it. Yeah.
I don't think many brands would be able to pull it off, but FaZe Connect is definitely still unhinged enough that they would be one of the brands who could pull it off without facing too much backlash.
It would, because it's like they get their merch out there on camera, but then at the same time it's a charitable thing. Look how good we look at FaZe Connect. We're giving away all these clothing to the homeless.
I mean, yeah, let's give the crackhead a shirt of Murray saying I love selling crack and I have that on TV. Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, Maulington, but come on. At some point, that's a bit on the nose,
Shameless advertising.
Yeah, shameless advertising. I guess maybe FaZe should consider that. But you know what FaZe should really consider? Getting someone who actually knows how to do PR. That's another topic.
I think in general, like Fishman needs someone.
I'm available, Fishman.
There you go, Fishman. We got Zan here. He'll gladly contract for you.
I'd do it.
He'll do it.
But, at first I thought you were gonna say, yeah, let's bring all the talent to like Skid Row, and I'm like, why would you bring a bunch of Chinese women to Skid Row?
Oh my god, can you imagine? Jesus Christ. I think Murray N would be in that element, but I think the rest of them would be very shy and timid in that environment. Yeah, it'd be funny.
I mean, is there some lore I'm unaware? Will like Murray come from the street or something?
I don't know. She just seems to be a very confident woman who just goes with the flow, I suppose. I just get that impression from her.
She kind of does, yeah. I especially love her. I've rarely met someone who's so capable of consistently, for minutes on end, capable of giving you the most insane blank-faced deadpan humor. I think she's like the first I met who's capable of so consistently keeping up with it. Because people who do that type of humor, at some point they break and stuff and they start cackling.
Yeah.
She doesn't. She's able to keep up the charade for so long, and I'm like, how does she do it?
Yeah, I mean, I think Murray and Ian in particular actually kind of breaks the stereotype of VTube as being very socially awkward people or like very afraid of confrontation. I remember her telling an anecdote about how she didn't give up her seat on a train or something, and told the guy like to fuck off, basically.
Murray is basically a VTuber kryptonite because she makes other people uncomfortable in social settings.
Yeah.
With like her dead fish eye, blank stare, deadpan, resting poker bitch face, and she's like, "Yeah, I don't like you."
Actually, on the subject of sponsors, well, I think one thing I've been seeing a lot with the Phase Connect drama in particular is this kind of, I don't know, I almost want to call it like, I think people are trying to scapegoat FaZe a little bit as well, and are blaming Phase Connect they're blaming Phase Connect for censoring the talents and think it's like a management decision, when sometimes I think it's a case of the talents themselves are the ones who actually like want to get these sponsors and work with them and are censoring themselves deliberately to try and get those opportunities or not lose them. So I think some people are misguided in saying, "Oh, this is FaZe is going woke," when it's just a case of business, basically.
It sucks that it is that way. I don't like. Here's a controversial statement. I don't really like censorship.
No, me neither. Yeah.
Very controversial, I know. But if you want to play ball and stuff, then you're gonna have to make compromises.
Yeah.
I think that as long as it remains in the realm of like making compromises, maybe still making some jokes, but just making them less often or making them less prominent, I think that's fine. Like what's important is that you don't break the spirit of who you are as a person, essentially.
Yeah, you don't do an iDubbbz either where you get trolls remorse.
Yeah. It's the difference between compromises and iDubbbz, betraying yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And I think
I think that what a lot of people forget is that there are degrees to, it's a spectrum to this whole sort of thing. There's a difference between I'm gonna make less of those jokes because when I get more sponsorship and stuff, and I'm gonna completely switch up my entire brand because I want sponsorship. Yeah. There are like degrees to this kind of thing.
I guess people
compromises is generally good. It's fine.
Yeah, a compromise is fine as long as you don't become something completely alien to true to yourself, and you don't become something completely different than what your core audience watched you for in the first place, basically.
I think Lumi's pretty good at doing that, personally.
Yeah, I think she's doing pretty good at that.
She does some joke less, but you still see them from time to time.
Yeah, she still hits you with that out of nowhere. Yeah.
Yeah. The fact that those moments are rarer maybe makes them better because they're funnier, because you see them less often.
Yeah, that is true. It's like I do lament her not making those jokes and making those sneaky comments as much as she used to, but when it happens it's like, yeah, it's good, I like that.
It's still our Lumi.
It's still our Lumi, yeah, bless her.
All bitter and all.
Yeah, I guess.
I kind of wish she was sing the dog song more, but it's just. I think it's funny when she sings it.
I remember her anecdote about walking past that building site and that woman telling her she had a flat ass. I just always think back to that one. It's funny.
Yeah.
With the Phase Connect situation, I'm kind of on the same page as Armchair, where I think this was basically a this was incompetency rather than a commentary on. Yeah, do you feel the same way? Yeah.
I mean, especially when you see it's pretty crazy how consistently Daisy is like the voice of reason when she will literally say on stream that her entire brand is being a wench and shaking her patas. Yet somehow she's always consistently the voice of reasons and good sense. Which is why I fucking stan her to death and fucking love Dizzy.
Everybody loves Dizzy love, how yeah.
Yeah, if you don't like Dizzy, we can't be friends, I'm sorry.
Nothing but good things to say about Dizzy. It's something I find a lot with more responsible, mature people, is that they do when they're VTubing or entertaining people, is they do like to play the butt of the joke kind of silly person. is interesting. I find.
When she's here to entertain, what I especially love about this is that when she's here to entertain you, she goes all in, no matter how crass or like how shameful. Like she just all in.
Just all into it, yeah. Just gives it a full sense.
All in into it, and yet somehow she's able, like when she's like talking, or when you notice her serious voice, and she's talking serious. That's like the moment to like listen, and that like she's locking in, essentially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point.
When she locks in, you gotta listen to her.
Yeah, I think a lot of talents, like Reeps here says, I think a lot of talents are pissed off at the Fishman for how this situation was handled, and I do think it's...
Like Dizzy said, it's a pressure cooker situation where there were not a lot of stress, and they didn't have what they needed, which is... actually, can you guess what did Face Connect need in that instant, and that they didn't have?
They needed a PR business partner.
I guess, yeah. So, or at least someone who was smart enough to understand that, maybe it's better to not say anything this time.
Yeah, like I'll just shut up.
Frankly.
Yeah, and it's just so shocking, right? It's like, they've done it in the past. Yeah. Why not? Why didn't they do it this time? So weird.
Yeah, what's different now? What changed?
It's like, what changed? Yeah.
The only thing that would have changed is, the whole face cam. That's the only... That's like one of the answers, like either sponsorship or FaceCon. That would be the two main things that have changed.
Yeah, I imagine Fishman probably invested an awful lot of money into FaceCon and is like really scared about it falling through, I suppose. Yeah. So I kind of get it. Yeah.
Again, we go back to the whole conflict of interest and stuff. There's so much money invested into this that it makes it's gonna make the brand overreact when it could risk it.
But then I guess
I don't disagree with deleting Jelly's tweet. I think it's fine. No, if you ask me, it should have been done earlier, and that's why it would be good to have someone that's like constantly available to ask this sort of question. Hey, should we delete that? I think people misunderstand what essentially a PR person does in their day-to-day. I've noticed that a lot. Granted, it's a very misunderstood job because it's fairly opaque as to what you do generally when you're in that position. But generally the idea is that you're always available to ask these sort of questions, and so it should have been deleted earlier if you ask me. So them deleting the Jelly tweet is not a problem. It's more so acknowledging after, when everyone could have just moved on and forget about it and move on with their day. Because thing is, Jelly wasn't the only one saying that sort of stuff, so people would have focused on other people who had kept the tweet up, So by acknowledging it, by the company acknowledging it, it put a target on her back, essentially.
Yeah, I guess on the subject of deleting a tweet, so I take, like messages quite literally, in the sense that I'm like, well, Face Connect has made that message now. We all know they've made it, so I don't see why deleting it helps or does anything. So could you explain to me why that would help? Now that the statement's
been made, you can't delete it.
Okay.
No, I mean, I don't disagree with them deleting the Jelly tweet initially. It should have been it should have been deleted sooner.
But their official response, you think they should just keep it out now and not delete it?
It should have not existed.
It shouldn't exist in the first place, but yeah.
But now that it's out there, you can't touch it. Like it's too late.
Right. Yeah.
Like the moment people the tweeted like 100 views, it was too late.
Yeah. Okay.
You can't go back on it. Too late. Even how badly it is worded and stuff. Dude, I swear the first time I read it, I was like, did a Redditor write that?
It reads almost like something from Niji Sanji a little bit, almost. Yeah. Wasn't very good.
Yeah. No, it was terrible. I guess I guess I have decent grasp of what they were going for. I don't know if you and Armchair talked that during the VOD, because I kind of sped up through it because I was going to work.
It was a long fucking VOD, to be fair. Yeah.
It was a long fucking VOD, but the idea was that to put. No, I think you guys touched on it. I remember you talking about it. How it should have been more separated. What's concerning Jelly and what's concerning the behavior of face talents. Now, not face talent, no, face fans rather, like what they find acceptable of a behavior for the average face fan. But I mean, even then, if you really want to make a tweet like a statement like this, why not do it on the community Discord? Like really, like do the part about jelly in public, and do the part about the community in the community Discord. Now, I mean, people are gonna screenshot it and share it on Twitter anyway and stuff. But still, the fact that it's not the official account doing it is gonna like limit the risk of it going too much out of context or out of your target audience and stuff. Like you literally have the community Discord for shit like this. Why don't you use it more?
No, quite. And Azihara makes a good point.
It would have put a hard separation between we support Jelly and we want FaZe fans to behave and not use that as an excuse to like get into political shit fling. You know, it would have put that separation more firmly, and it would have avoided the fact that so many people took it as them throwing Jelly under the bus. You know, that's one of those things where I generally think they didn't do that, but because of the way it was worded, that's what it looked like, and you can't blame people for thinking that way because it kind of looks that way, even if I generally believe it's not what they meant. No, it's just one of those things where it's like lose. Good job.
Yeah, and it's I don't know, there's some parallels to this with like Hogwarts Legacy as well, because kind of what happened
definitely.
with Hogwarts Legacy is that, you know, Pippa later came out like a day or so afterwards and made an official comment that was like, don't use me to use in your
it was fine.
political tool. And then again, that all worked fine, and I think that was FaZe Connect handled that very well. And again, it's just it's just bizarre. It's like
why did you not do the same thing?
Why
back
did you not
then?
do
That
this
was
time?
perfectly fine.
That could have been.
No, even better is the talent telling her fan that she's just doing this because, well, she wants to, not because she wants to make a political statement.
Yeah.
You know, as opposed to Tenma and the rope to it, which was, something else. I'm gonna be strict with you, Chief. That one, I don't have much
that was a bit too far, that one. And I mean, as well, the wording she used was I don't think Tenma meant to make one of those jokes, right? But it could easily read it as one of those jokes given the community as well, right?
The thing is with that statement that FaZe Connect made is that, you know, when the game is stacked against you so much that either decision you make is gonna suck, maybe it's better to not play that game.
Yeah,
don't make a decision at all.
I agree completely.
Like, the issue is that the framing of the story and the rules of engagement have been decided by Politics Perg on Twitter. So now you have to play their game, and here's the cute thing: the people who set up the rule are generally the ones who will end up winning in the end. So why just don't engage in it? Like deleting it, fine. I would say I'd support deleting it. Just could have been done sooner, and if FaZe had proper personnel to watch for things like that, or if talent could like talk to someone about if that is too much or not, then yeah. But the issue is that they didn't have someone capable of looking at it.
Yeah,
in that sense.
I do think FaZe Connect probably needs to vet better as well, like who they're working with and what kind of organizations they're working with, because the gun bun situation could have been easily avoided. I mean, I get that she's a very important con manager and she's in that scene, but I know that I think it is like good in principle. FaZe Connect has tried to be diplomatic and work with people who fucking hate them, but I think at this point it's probably a bit misguided, and that they should probably try to lead and make their own way, I think.
I've already said that on Twitter. I don't know if you saw it, but like I've worked with people who despised me, yet we've done great business because, you know, at the end of the day we're adults. We understand that like sometimes you have to put certain things aside, like personal grievances and stuff, and focus on, well, just that business. But the thing is, Gunburn's like not an independent that like they hired for cosplay and stuff. Like she's an official FaZe cosplayer. You know, if they had hired her as like a occasional cosplayer or like an independent or like you know, whatever contract would allow you to like keep her at close enough that you could regularly use her service, but far enough away that if she does something stupid, well, she's not technically part of your brand, and you can disassociate with that. That's essentially what you need to do with like people who hate you but are still valuable for your business. You need to keep them close enough that the relationship is beneficial for both of you, because again, professional adult, we understand that
this is the thing though, is that it can work in our probably our areas of business, but these people put their ideology and put their virtue signaling nonsense ahead of good business is kind of my thoughts on it. They tried, but I don't think they can do it.
That's why you keep them at arm's length. That's the exact point.
Yeah, I guess so. But then the problem is that obviously Gunbun has shown herself to be a bit of a fucking grifting sneaky snake trying to parasite the Face Connect fan base when she doesn't care, like, or understand anything about them, really.
I'll be the first to say that, like, people saying that, like, Face is basically, I don't know if that word's gonna translate well, but Shadistan, for a better term. I think they're misguided. That's not what Face Connect is. But, FaZe is definitely chud-coded, for lack of a better word.
FaZe is chud-coded to this, yeah.
If you ask me, like, what's the best way to describe FaZe, I would say early 2000 internet edgy. To me, that's really, like, Face Connect brand. Where, like, it's not, like...
FaZe is
not mean, per se.
It's very
more
diverse.
Like, about, like, provocative humor and derisive humor and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's not like based red pill stuff.
No,
that's not
it's not. Some people think it is, but it's really not.
It's not. It's, as you said, FaZe is very diverse. Like the most common thing about FaZe talents are that they're Asians.
Yeah,
it's a chud company. Come on.
No, and it's like you got some talents are just like normal VTubers, are just into music. They're into just being cute and funny, and then you get some who say based all crazy shit every now and again. They're not all bored people basically with VTuber avatars.
So it's just that like FaZe as a brand allows for more edginess and nail biting humor. Essentially. Face Connect is the Ricky Gervais of VTubing.
Yeah, but basically, yeah, it's like early 2000s internet gaming culture. Basically, it's kind of what a big part of the early foundation of face culture is, I suppose.
I think Face Connect is basically the whole meme of, oh my god, I hate how much the racist friend group is the most technically diverse.
Exactly, yeah.
It's like actually Face Connect. It's just people making fun of themselves and each other because they know that it's about humor. It's about having fun and nothing else.
And it's all done in good humor, right? Because you got Mexicans and all kinds of people, making racist jokes about each other in good humor, because that's what it's like in their culture. They like doing it. It's good fun. And then you get the white liberal Karen coming over and saying, "Oh, you can't do that. That's nasty. You're racist. You don't belong here." And it's like, oh, fuck off. We like doing this. You fuck off.
And then you get Gunbun, who is very much one of those white latte Karens, I guess.
Yeah, she's a shame to Mexicans, Gunbuns, to poor Gunbun. She's embarrassing to Mexicans. They don't claim her.
You know how hilarious it is that a British person is saying this?
Excuse me, I'm English.
You're ashamed to Mexicans.
You're ashamed to I am the honorary king of the Mexicans. I've been told this, right?
Who the fuck told you this?
I can't remember. I think I made this up, but I've decided I am king of the Mexicans.
You're the honorary king of Mexico. Okay, sure. Whatever you say.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean,
the main point is that it's about like having a good time and making fun of each other and really getting that nail biting humor, because life is what it is, and so we use self-deprecating humor as a way to
taking notes of future AI generations,
us feel better about these things that are so difficult.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
that's what's so cool about Face Connect.
It is, exactly, yeah. There's not very many places left on the internet, really, that captures that old spirit of the good old days of the internet, and I think that's a big part of the Face community, is that you can kind of relive it there, really. Particularly if it has
I think the issue is
older.
That the people that you describe, those ideologically motivated people, do not understand self-deprecating humor, like what it serves, what it is, what it means. Because like when you see DZ making a joke about Mexicans. That's because, well, she got a bunch of Mexicans friends, and they think that joke is funny, so they told her that joke before. She's just repeating the joke. See?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, yeah, we love this shit. It's funny. Again, it's like Dizzy's very much in touch with the community and the fans as well, and she knows that Mexicans enjoy making jokes about other Latins. It's good fun. So I don't know, you think going forwards now, I guess is the best strategy for FaZe Connect at this point is to just, again, keep saying nothing and then just eventually hope that the heat around the jelly situation disappears and then they just don't fuck up again?
I mean, at this point, there's nothing we can do.
Yeah.
Like, it's been
it's done now.
Yeah. It's too late to change whatever. Now what they have to do is like here's the thing. Okay, I'm gonna give everyone here that's essentially one of the things I do as like a PR person, is that when you have an incident like this, once it's done, you have to do like a crisis report, and like you have a couple of things to identify, like how this happened, why this happened, how do we fix it, how do we avoid repeating it in the future. You ask all these big questions. Very often when I have someone ask for my help, professional help in like some kind of drama and stuff, they say, hey, I have this problem where I like said something that people don't like, and I'm like, no, that's not the problem you have, you're looking at this wrong, because you've already said it. Like we can't change that. What we can change is like, how do we amend the fracture, how do we get people to be comfortable with you again, how do we get in a position where that is unlikely to repeat itself in the future, and when it inevitably does, because you'll always get into drama at some point or another, how do we set the proper safeguard and procedure in place so that you are more ready to respond to it whenever it happens.
Yeah, no, Hara makes a good point here. He says, I think you're asking too much of FaZe. They don't even have a calendar to remind Fishman to send contract renewals to his talents. And I mean, this is I was talking to Armchair behind the scenes, and I kind of said this to him, and it's kind of like, up until this point, there have been several warning signs about FaZe operations not being up to standard, like Fishman taking shortcuts, being cheap where he shouldn't. Yeah, and now it's like, I'll
do the corporate structuring for FaZe. And if not me, well, someone else. Hire someone. Like, that's genuinely, that's very important. Like, FaZe can't just wing it anymore. Like, they didn't ask for this, but now they are the biggest Western VTuber company.
Correct. Yeah.
They didn't ask for this, but that's the hat they have now. So now you have to deal with it. It doesn't matter if you didn't ask for this. That's where you're at now. So get on it.
Well, I think one of the problems they have as well is it's the same problem Nijisanji had, is that in regards to their kind of like code of conduct and how their expectations of talents, is that now that obviously this apology or this kind of apology statement came out about Jelly's conduct, well, it's not fair to Jelly or the others because it's highly inconsistent with what's happened in the past. So it's like if Tenma, Pippa and whoever can say or do some of the really crazy shit that they got away with back in the day, how come Jelly gets punished over this nothing burger?
Why come Jelly? Yeah, exactly. If Tenma can say get the rope, why is Jelly getting punished?
Exactly, and then it causes this horrible effect with the talents now where they get scared because they don't know what they can and can't do anymore.
Again, personally, I don't think that's what they meant for people to take out of that statement, but that's how it read, and that's the problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if you didn't mean it, that's how people took it, and well, yeah. Now you have to address that. Not internally, but you have to address that.
I think
that like Nijisanji is a bit different because clearly Nijisanji EN at least not
EN specifically
they have no corporate structure and they don't have the required staff to handle the EN brand, and that's the big issue. For some reason, it appears that there are very much not many people to handle the EN staff. From what I've seen from like okay, so this is public, so I can actually talk about this.
Sure.
You know how on webs there are a recruitment website when you can post, when companies post like job searches and stuff. When I look at that, I think that was last year. when I look at that last year, I looked at like Niji Sanji En, what they were looking like. Basically, they were looking for like students or freshly out of uni people.
I remember that. Yeah.
Had management capabilities and stuff.
Yeah.
So the issue is that for some reason they're lowballing their EN staff with like young talents. That's fine. Like you gotta. It's fine to get like younglings that you're gonna train for the future and stuff. That's normal as a company. But here's the thing. You get someone wiser to chaperone them,
exactly.
And you get a young person. You just don't get a bunch of young people. They're not going to be able to handle shit.
They're hiring people with no real experience to take really important decisions that affect the future of the company. And it's like, well, you've lost all the people as well that could mentor and train these people up. So you've got the blind leading the blind, basically.
Yeah. And that's even unfair to them because, like, they didn't ask to be in a position where they have to make these important decisions that are going to affect the whole brand. They're just a bunch of kids, essentially.
Yeah.
So, that's not very fair for them to Niji Sanji to put them in a situation where if they make the wrong decision, well, they kind of, like, destroyed their career, essentially, especially in Japan where, corporate culture is so much more tough. So that creates a big incentive for the EN staff to like never actually address problems.
Yeah, and as Ihara Channel says, but Hololive has done the same in a way. Many of the talents have mentioned having to teach some of the staff how to do things, and it's like, yeah, I guess that kind of what's the word? Kind of haphazard way of doing things might work up into a point, but I think the real problem is that not only are they basically hiring management students like fresh out of university, but they don't.
It worked up to a point, but
these students don't know anything about the culture, don't really know what they're getting into as well. It's a problem. Whereas with Hololive, it's like the talents, I think, tend to get asked or provide advice, and Dizzy did the same thing in the early days of FaZe, because even though she might not honestly, have all the experience, she knows the culture very well and understands what she's doing.
I have a bit of management experience, but I don't have a lot of. I have a bit of it, but not a lot in the sense that most VTuber managers do things. I don't have a lot of VTuber manager experience traditionally as per se, so I'll be honest, there's a lot of shit I don't know how to do. But here's the thing, at the very least I know how some things are supposed to work and how the culture works, so already that makes it so I'm much more capable to learn these things in the future if I decide to go that route at the end of the day. So it's also the difference with that, where we circle back to the original point of you're hiring people who don't know about VTuber culture, so they're even more ill-equipped,
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. It's like they don't have the experience, just general management experience,
like,
nor do they get the culture.
I know even some of the fresher Hololive staff, they have openly admitted, I don't know how you do that, can you teach me? Does the Niji Sanji staff act the same, where they have humble enough to ask for help? I mean, of course the talent are gonna complain and stuff, but essentially, like, even their managers have to learn things as well. So if they complain, it's not that it's a nothing burger, but we each have to learn from each other. So it's fine if they don't know everything. Just work it out. But like, do the Niji Sanji staff are capable of that same humbleness? I don't know.
Yeah, it's like, I know people are angry, and it's not to excuse FaZe Connect and say that people should just roll over and just ignore it and pretend it didn't happen. But it's like, I do think that, and you can't expect reasonableness or calmness from, or like the general audience, like audiences, particularly VTuber ones who get very emotional over their fans. But I do think you need to.
There's so many pieces about it that are wrong.
You need to afford some level of like. What's the word? Like, you need to give FaZe Connect a chance to like learn from this experience and then build on it and then improve going forwards from it, right? Like, they need to learn lessons, take the feedback on board, and then improve going forwards. Whereas I see some people are immediately going to the FaZe Connector's ruins, like fucking burn everything down, destroy it all, and it's like,
I mean, come on.
You can't incentivize. That's why
we're
you can't,
not there yet.
And you can't incentivize like genuine change and improvement in an organization if the second they make a mistake, it's like immediately, okay, well, I'm going to write you off completely and hope you're destroyed now.
Yeah.
It's like, fucking hell, man.
They
like,
have
calm
no
down.
incentive to improve.
Yeah, it's like at that point they need to hide and just pretend that and just keep it all on the down low when you want them to embrace and accept the fact that they fucked up and then genuinely improve from it.
But the problem is that the problem this time compared to some other drama and stuff is that it's not just a VTubing thing, it's a political thing, and that makes everything so much more complicated.
Yeah, it does.
Needlessly complicated, dare I say.
Yeah, and I can understand as well.
Again, a lot of people are just seeing the politics of this. Me, I'm seeing all of the conflict of interest, all of how FaZe is still very much a baby company in a sense, because they have never put in place the proper corporate structure. Like, I know that word scares a lot of people, corporate structure, but it exists for a reason.
It's there to protect the talents and the business as well. It's like not just the business, it's talents too.
Yeah. I mean, to an extent, by protecting the brand, you also protect the talents.
Exactly.
If FaZe doesn't get into trouble, then the talents have the space they need to rise, shine, and thrive.
Yeah, and then
you gotta play ball essentially.
I know, and it also creates a problem, I think, in the eyes of some FaZe Connect fans, though, because FaZe kind of, or at least some of the talents, are seen as the based organization, that has no censorship and just says whatever they want. And I don't think that's ever been true exactly. That's not exactly always been the case. I mean, Pippa and others, like we said before, they've had stuff quietly like deleted or taken down. They've been reprimanded, so it's never been quite literally like a free speech organization. But I think kind of what happened with the Jelly situation as well is that there's people who are in two minds. There are people like us who see this as FaZe management is incompetent and they fucked up and didn't mean anything malicious by this. Whereas you get other people who probably see the situation with Clara and that whole, political, whatever you want to call it, all that political nastiness from having Clara in the organization, and then they see from their perspective it's a pattern of infiltration or like a threat on FaZe culture from vaguely like leftoid people, basically the kind of people who we come to FaZe Connect to get away from. So I kind of understand why there's this really sharp kind of like different mindsets between two groups of people. But yeah, I guess because I'm firmly in this is just a fuck up, not a FaZe Connect is being taken over by the gays kind of situation, that I'm not inclined to agree with those people, right?
Bro, FaZe is already taken over by the gays. The fanboys.
The fanboys, yeah.
It's already too late, dude. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. Gay fanboy Mexicans.
Unfortunately, love of this also boils down to America.
Yeah, the political situation in America is crazy right now. Yeah,
because like as a European person, that just two mindsets kind of thing are just not for me, dude. Dog. I wasn't raised like this. I generally have a poor opinion of Americans' politics.
I love America. I want to be an American. Get me over there. I'll do and say anything to be an American. Get me over there. Get me over there. I don't want to be here anymore.
Because you live in the UK, and the UK is complicated.
It's complicated. This isn't a political stream, but oh my god, get me the fuck out of here right now. Although France isn't doing too good either, but I mean,
no.
I do wonder though. It's like going forwards. I wonder if FaZe Connect kind of has to evolve and change their culture and their brand a bit, because they've kind of been given a pass, I'd say, at some point, because they've been a small underdog company, but now they're not anymore. It's kind of like, oh, what's going to be their thing going forwards?
That'd be a choice, but that's not a good choice, because I've had people talk to me about it, and where they say like, it's because FaZe Connect is trying to be more like Hololive, and that like because everyone's pretty much aware that like Sakana is a pretty big sim for Hololive. We have no proof that this is the actual case, but I'm gonna say it for like the record. If Sakana is generally making these mistakes because he's trying to be like Hololive, well, he's already doing a piss poor job at being like Hololive because he doesn't have a proper business structure. That's already a pretty stupid idea.
Yeah.
But number two, it's useless to try and be like Hololive because Hololive already exists. So why?
Yeah, they
Genuinely
can't compete
point.
with HoloLive. That's a problem that killed a lot of early small VTuber corporations. Is they tried to beat HoloLive basically. Yeah.
Again, what are you gonna do to compete against Gura?
Yeah, exactly.
It's useless to try and be the next HoloLive because the next HoloLive is gonna be the next HoloLive wave essentially.
Yeah.
There's no point in competing with them. Just try to find your own thing that works. And for Face Connect, it's pretty clear. It's again that edgy, very nail-biting, Ricky Gervais type humor. And I think they should stick to that. That's been working very great for them, and that's what they should focus on.
Yeah.
I don't think the industry is mature yet enough in the West that HoloLive like corporation will rise anytime soon. We're still at like the niche genre, so people should and companies should just keep focusing on their own niches.
Yeah,
because,
I think
that's where you'll find your dedicated fan who are willing to spend the bajillion buckaroos to support the product you make. That's what you should be focused on. Like, there's a reason for so long that Face Connect got out of like that troublesome financial situation. Is because they decided to trust and believe in the fans, that they were willing to support the company if they put a good product. And well, that's what happened, and they should keep going that way. I understand that I will be the first to say it's important to diversify revenue streams, so that you're not solely so that the fans are not solely the one giving you money, because you don't want them to be essentially tyrants who dictate when you're doing good and when you're doing bad.
Exactly.
But at the same time, you should not forget that you can't work without them, and it's important that they still remain a majority shareholder in your private company, if I can say it that way.
Yeah, I know. I think you're absolutely right there, and as well, I think I do wonder if Face Connect is growing a little bit too quickly than they can really handle. And I think it's tricky for Face Connect because at some point
it's not that. It's because they've accumulated. How could I say that? They were late, and they accumulated too much. How could I say that?
They built very slowly to begin with a solid niche audience, and now they're kind of growing more rapidly now as the competition dies.
Faster. It's more that there were stuff that was supposed to be set up ages ago that didn't happen.
Yeah, that's a good way of saying it.
Now they have all that flag that they need. They have that development depth in their brand that they need to catch up on.
Yeah, that's a very good way of saying it, actually. Yeah, you're right. They should have got this sorted out years ago. They've been in operations for nearly 5 years now, and it's like they still don't have this stuff in place. You're right.
Like, it's as if they're in their second or third year.
No,
second, I guess. More than third.
Yeah, probably more second year, yeah.
Face currently looks like as if it's running in its second year, where it's still trying to figure out like corporate structure when it should have been done like 3 years ago. Like, they've got some stuff sorted with like talent specific needs, which is a good thing. But the issue is that, for example, the invader system and stuff is a great system. And
it's very good system.
Well thought, if you ask me. And it's proved to be very well crafted, because we now have Clio and Marie and all that, and Clio is a fucking legendary run as of late. Girl keeps streaming 12-hour back to back and being like one of the biggest streamer in and the entirety of Australia, not just VTubing, like Australia as a whole. Like, legendary run.
Legendary, yeah.
Clio is an absolute work machine, absolute workhorse. So the fact that they managed to snag such a valuable talent is genuinely insane.
Yeah,
like that's why I will endlessly praise the invader system, because it also dizzy.
I mean, the invaders are my favorite generation. I love the invaders. They're all my favorites in phase. Yeah, like,
generally that's such a great system, but the issue, while they have sorted a lot of like the talent related corporate structure, there's still that contract issue apparently, and there's that there's the corporate structuring itself that is not done yet.
It's funny, it's funny as well, isn't it? Because like, people were phase begging for Clio for over a year, and then they're like, this entire time she was in fact in Face Connect.
Damn phase beggars.
Oh my god, the phase beggars were right. They worked.
I mean, to BH, I sort of expected that as well. Cleo and Mari just fit the face brand so well, if you ask me.
Yeah, they do, absolutely. I mean, I'm surprised we haven't seen more like trio collabs between Cleo, Lumi, and Jelly, and like doing their RTS autism. I think that would be peak. We should do that more.
I literally watched Dizzy's first stream on like Warhammer, where she was with Lumi and stuff, and she was teaching her how to play the game. And they literally joked about getting a collab with Cleo, and I'm still waiting. Girl.
Yeah,
what are
exactly.
You doing?
Yeah,
please,
we need more Cleo
please,
collabs.
I need it. The three of them, like Lumi, Cleo, and Dizzy, some of my favorites. I especially love Lumi and Dizzy, so like like the three of them together are fucking legend, Hall of Fame. Like, give it to me. I want that collab.
Clobbering Time says, does Faye still have time to learn? Are they at the point where they should have a clear plans of action? I think they still got time to learn, but they should have sorted this shit out like many years ago. They need to learn fast.
The problem is Faze needs to be willing to invest a lot in a very short amount of time. And are they willing to do that?
Not sure.
I don't know, man.
Fishman likes cutting corners. He likes being cheap. He hates spending money. Yeah.
But here's the thing, he can't keep doing that. At some point, you're gonna have to. I know getting like someone to do the corporate structuring, doing the PR, doing contracts and stuff. Like you're definitely gonna need two people. You're gonna need one person to do PR, corporate structure, internal communication in general, and you're gonna need someone to handle the contract and the other similar nonsense. You're essentially gonna need a HR person. You're gonna need a PR person that can do some corporation stuff, and you're gonna need an HR person that can handle contract and all of that stuff. And I'm not gonna lie, those are fairly expensive.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, I guess for the contract you could hire
Himemi Rie is the HR person, correct?
Or like just a short period, like a 1-2 month contract, just to get this stuff sorted, and so that they can create a system that they can come back to in the future. So like you can just pay them for like a month and not two and stuff. There are ways to organize it to minimize cost in the future. But when it comes to like corporate structure and PR and stuff, you're gonna have to have someone that's like permanent, available, not too far for the talents.
I could probably do that. I've spent a lot of time I've been working in management and leadership for over 10 years now, and I'm very familiar with contracts and change management and operational management. A fucking fish, man, I'll do it on the cheap. I'll do it for you. I'll fucking do it.
Well, I'm gonna be honest, hiring like junior corporate PR that's gonna run you like 2,000 to 2,500 euros, and like after taxes.
Yeah, I mean,
like what the guy's gonna be getting. So considering how much you're gonna pay taxes and stuff for the company, is probably gonna be worth 3K up more, and that's every month. Getting PR and corporation is very expensive.
We'll get Fishman to bring us two on board. You do the PR, I'll do the HR and operational side of things. I'll do the contracting.
Sure. You get two for the price of one. What do you say?
That's the thing. I think one thing I think the thing about Phase Connect as well, kind of going back to its culture, is it's very much it's more of an entertainment or comedy kind of organization rather than an idol organization. And I think one thing Phase should do more are like, kind of like the mega collabs and like the little groups that they have where you have like Cleo, Lumi and Jelly like regularly do their little RTS shenanigans, and they take someone on board, like basically you have almost like skits or like verses, just events basically that really capitalize on how naturally like funny they are and how crazy and chaotic they can get. And I know it's like the issue Phase Connect has, it's not an issue, but obviously many of the Phase talents join a VTuber corporation because they want to be idols. They want to get on stage and do the singing, and they can still do that. But I think one thing that they're missing are really good, like consistent units where they like play games or do silly shit together that everybody loves. It doesn't always have to be something like Hag Garden or stuff like that where it's like really complicated. You need to get outfits, you need to like rehearse and do scripted stuff. Literally just get the autistic members to all play Civilization together every now and again. And I could see people really enjoying that, both within and without Phase Connect as well. It doesn't have to be that deep. I'd like to see them do more stuff like that.
No, I'm gonna say that as well. Actually, they can learn from Niji Sanji.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking of. Yeah. Because Nijisanji used to do that very well. Yeah.
Because like what she did is that she it's very funny because like I used like the first spoiler alert, so everyone's gonna get to hate on me. The first corporation I started actively watching in VTubing, even though my first Oshis are all alive, like the first corporation I really invested myself into is actually Nijisanji. So here's a
I think me too. No, Cyberlife, but Nijisanji.
Lore tidbit of. When I remember when Aya debuted, I just didn't like her vibe at all. She rubbed me the wrong way. She kind of remembered me too much of like those white pumpkin latte kind of currents.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
that's the initial vibe I got off of her. I really don't like it. And she felt very uncomfortable and awkward at first, like she was scared of her own audience.
Yeah.
Then she sort of like grew comfortable in it, and now I think I generally watch her content very regularly. I think she does great stuff, and one of the things she has managed to do is do Dungeons and Dragons campaign with Nijisanji talents.
Oh, that's cool.
Those are some great pieces of content, and it's essentially would be like someone similar where you have someone who's like, I don't know, very good at like doing one type of thing, like be it like setting up RTS multiplayer game, setting up like tabletop role playing, like whatever it is, but something that allows you to shuffle the roster around and have different people being able to collab with each other. Okay.
Yeah, and it's, I think in particular with the FaZe Connect community as well, so there are so many nerds. I think they'd fucking love like a Dungeons and Dragons like FaZe Connect campaign if they like did it like once a week on a Sunday or something.
Imagine if you even make the campaign itself FaZe Connect theme with a bunch of community memes and stuff. See, I'm the idea guy.
Exactly. Yeah. No. Exactly.
I know what the people want. The people want FaZe nonsense.
Exactly, they do exactly, and it's just disappointing to see they don't really do it so much. Like the Lethal Company collab they did a couple years ago now.
Great.
Yeah, fantastic. Beat content, absolutely brilliant. Like not just like as a group, but the individuals really got their chance to shine there. Like Mishru as well, like trolling everybody and trying to get them all to fucking lose a game was hilarious.
Like before the incident.
Before the incident, yes.
Nijisanji was very much seen as like more of a dude bro kind of company, where just a bunch of people collabing all the time and having fun playing games with each other, whereas Hololive was more seen as the more traditional idol company.
Mm-hmm.
So and I really think that like FaZe should try to emulate that sort of dude bro culture a little bit more, not up to the point where like you have talent dating each other, but up to the point where they get some good gaming collab together, as in like, I mean, I remember like, I think like every twice to thrice a year Nijisanji gets a mega collab with almost all of the talents together, the entire brand all together to play one game. Like that's, and generally great content, because this showcases everyone's affinity for each other, everyone's personality. They get to bounce off of each other. It's very eclectic and chaotic. And if you get different POVs and stuff with different people streaming their things, everyone essentially gets a unique viewing experience, because their favorite is not going to interact with the same people, because there's just so many to interact with.
You do, and you get friendly competitions as well.
Essentially, you get, by making just one mega collab, you make unique pieces of content, because not everyone's going to have the same experience. So, out of one collab, you get 20 different pieces of content. That's like the ratio is insane. Mm-hmm. So I know it's a hassle to organize and stuff, but surely now that FaZe Connect is the biggest EN agency, they can organize something like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
They would if they had a staffer and to organize shit like this.
That is the thing. To be fair to them, they do like still make a lot of that kind of organization and work. They put on the shoulders of the talents, particularly Dizzy. They like to dump that stuff on Dizzy, but she can't do everything by herself. I think they're getting better at that.
Assistant.
She needs an assistant. They are getting better at that, because you've got people like Rie are taking over now as well.
Yeah. It's fine if you get like a rookie and stuff under Dizzy, but like get her someone that she can train, so that she can, when she's overwhelmed, give stuff to him to handle or stuff,
or even not an assistant, just actually get someone whose job it is. It doesn't
get someone,
yeah.
but he's gonna have to learn from this at the start, I guess, is what I would say more.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's like you just get one person who is it's not maybe a bit too high of a title, but essentially you almost get like a creative director of like Phase Connect, but it's not really like a director. It wouldn't be that big of a position, but it'd be like someone who doesn't come up with ideas, but then also like builds scenarios and like builds these kinds of projects for the sake of Phase Connect. So they are like the Phase Wars guy, or they come up with ideas like they build like, I don't know, Minecraft like scenarios for the talents to go through. So it's like, okay, we're going to have a Minecraft, I don't know, like platforming challenge, and we're going to have hags versus zoomers. So the guy would like come up with these ideas, but then he would also like build it and make these projects up from the ground up and then pitch it to Sakura and be like, we're going to these are the kinds of like fun projects we're going to make, and we project, we have projections that it's going to attract this kind of fan base, appeal to these people, and like here's how things are going to go. I think more of that maybe.
If Sakura wants to explain the Phase brand and the success and stuff, that's definitely one thing I should look into, and I don't know when it's not been done yet.
No, they really need to capitalize on the fact they are like one of the best entertainment agencies out there.
I guess you could say a creative staffer, creative consultant.
Yeah, like a creative consultant, I would say maybe. Yeah, maybe something like a creative consultant, yeah.
But it'd be actual staff, so I don't know.
Yeah, I know that. I don't know. What do you think about? Yeah, because Tor here says, I think Anya will take more responsibility for the concerts in the future because of her experience. I don't like the idea really of talents having too much responsibility over stuff like that, because it opens up to favoritism and problems like that.
Not true.
No, you wouldn't say so?
I think like it's. No, you're right, but I think like it would be fine to have them like help staff and stuff with organizing stuff like that. But here's the two thing about that is that one, you should still have someone who's like decently competent or like knows about like VTubing and is willing to learn those competence from someone else.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like, again, recruit someone, a staffer who knows about VTubing and stuff, get them with a talent that is going to teach them how they generally like things to be done and stuff, so that they can do it the way the talents like it to be done.
Yeah.
So, to make it more convenient for them. And then once he's trained and you get the ball rolling, well, that's just that, essentially. And then you get him full-time and stuff. But, the issue is that one of the things that was very true at Nexus as well, if you look at Lulu Lasso, terribly talented.
Yeah.
She did, like, all of the chibi and stuff, and she did so much art asset for Nexus. But, like, she never got any sort of compensation for that.
What a fucking mess Nexus was.
Yeah, it's a long story, and I have a lot of opinions about it.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
But it's fine if you like get talent to do some stuff that would be better left for management, because sometimes it is more convenient and it makes it so it's better for the talents themselves if another talent do it, because they know what they need and stuff. But you should have a staffer that is being trained to do this stuff, so at the end of the day can replace them and whatnot. But like, if you're gonna go that route of like leaving that for talents to do, you should give them a pay bonus or something.
Yeah.
Like, you should make it so like their additional work is compensated. Otherwise, that's basically free labor, and
it's not fair either. It's just not fair. Yeah. I think
it's just not good.
I'm not completely against talents getting involved in that kind of thing, because I think for a VTuber corporation to succeed, it almost needs to be kind of like traditional theatre, where it's like the actors aren't just actors, but then they're also like carpenters, and they can do sewing, help with the outfits and stuff like that. It's just that I've always think it's
being corpo is a partnership where everyone works together, including talent and stuff. You know, it's important. At the end of the day, you should still not forget that there are people in the decision of power for a reason, and their decisions should be respected.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean you should, if they're doing something wrong or stupid, you should find a way to talk some sense into them, which is what the Phase talents managed to do at first when Sakana started having stupid ideas. But essentially, a VTubing corpo that is working well is basically this virtuous circle of staffers and talents working together to make a better product.
Yeah, quite. I think 180-degree feedback at least is a very powerful tool, and I don't know really what really goes on in their weekly management meetings, but that seems promising that they do stuff like that. Whereas I think it's better than the tyrannical approach that Niji-Sanji seems to have, where they'll just backstab their own talents out of nowhere and demand that they do what the management says or else.
That works great, right?
Yeah, that works great. What a great way to motivate and inspire your talents to do their best for your company. Yeah.
And remember, no Zion Lenza.
No
Selen.
Yeah, skill issue on Selen's part. Fucking hell, yeah. God, what a nightmare that was. I mean, the fish man sends his regards. Last cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Hey, Clanker.
So I guess we completely missed one of the questions that one of the person asked earlier, if like FaZe still has time to learn. Essentially, yes, but they're going to have to invest to learn fast, otherwise they're going to get in more trouble. While they may not have chosen to be in this position, now they are, so, you know, you have to deal with it, and people are going to have very low empathy for, you know, some people do have, to an extent, a certain amount of degree of empathy for like corporation and stuff, but that's always limited, you know. There's only
talent
so much
first
someone can have for a company. Only the people who are involved in like the back end stuff and who are like staffer, manager and stuff understand how much a VTuber corpo can offer the talent, how much work they can do if they are willing to put in that work. That's another problem in itself. But like, again, the only people who are going to understand that generally things are more complicated than talent terminated, a company bad, that those are industry insiders. Those are not the average viewers, and you need to keep that into consideration.
Exactly. Azihara Channel makes a point as well, actually, that I thought was pretty good. Maybe FaZe Connect doesn't have enough money to invest in hiring this extra talent, but then I would kind of say, based on that, it's almost like, I don't know, I think FaZeCon maybe then is a bit too early for them. They should have held off on FaZeCon and instead spent that money investing in themselves instead of doing FaZeCon. A bit early for FaZeCon, I think.
Yeah, here's the thing: a convention is not generally a source of revenue.
Yeah,
it's generally
a loss
money sink
leader.
And a loss leader. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, if the proper corporate structure is still not in place, why are you organizing a convention?
Yeah, exactly.
Focusing on that, you should be focusing on getting competent staff and stuff. And again, development debt, quote unquote. You're gonna have to go in the red a little so you can get that sorted and fixed. So, and that's on you. That's your problem. That's your fault. You're gonna have to accept it, embrace it, and deal with it.
Yeah, I think FaZeCon was a reaction to the Off-Kai fiasco. I mean, if it was though, still, I mean, it's again a convention at this point in FaZe Connect's history. Again, I don't think it's the best.
I mean, and again, there are other cons to go to. Why specifically trying to organize a con in Cali? See, they could have done the con in Milwaukee, and it would have been
just a bit middle of nowhere in Milwaukee. Yeah.
Yeah, the Midwest, dude. I mean, think about it. The hotels would have been cheap. The venue would have been cheap. It's in the middle of America, so all Americans just have to take a flight in the middle. So it's less expensive for them as well. You know, there are so many advantages when you think about it. And the locals are going to be so open because they never see anybody organizing shit in their town. So they're going to be so welcoming. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, at the end of the day, we don't. It's easy for us to sit here, I suppose, an armchair like FaZe Connect's business decision, because we don't know what the financials look like. We don't know what Sakana's plan is. It's just, I don't know, from where I'm sitting.
Plan.
What the L plan is exactly. Does he even have one? Maybe I don't know. Maybe we're giving it too much credit again.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Working with different CEOs, I've learned that, you know, sometimes there's a plan, but a lot of it, you know, the CEO, a lot of CEOs aren't that different from talent, where they don't know what the fuck they're doing, and they're kind of figuring shit out as well. I don't know if Sakana is like that, but I've seen it happen, so I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case as well.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, I just think that it's just too early for FaZe Connect, I think, to do its own con, and I think I'm not sure at this point. I'm a bit black-pilled on the state of the industry. I think that Phase Connect should just, where possible, instead of trying to seek out new investors, is try to, well, I mean, not that they're mutually exclusive, but they should probably try to build up their own the power of their own brand so that they can approach these negotiations from a position of more strength rather than try to get along with people who will try to control them and hate them.
On outsiders. On outside forces to get their stuff done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
See, that's why Hololive is always in such a strong position, and they're able to strong arm people to like do things their way, because, well, if they don't, they actually have the capabilities to do it by themselves. It's just that it's more convenient to have someone else do it. So that really changes the power dynamics.
And it's also a case of, you want Hololive at your convention. We don't need you. You need us. Yeah.
And that should be the same for Phase Connect.
Mm-hmm.
You want Phase Connect at your convention, not the other way around.
Very much.
And even then again, you could say it's still Sakana's fault because, it didn't apply for Hotel Gaylord.
Hotel Gaylord, yeah. Oh, man, if only. Oh, my goodness.
See, that's why having an agenda is important. I understand that a lot of people go, well, having an agenda is silly. Nobody uses agenda. Well, clearly you have never been in any kind of management position. Anyone who has ever done management will tell you, make an agenda. Even if it's stupid, even if you rarely use it, have your assistant fill it for you. So that way you get a reminder, or so they can remind you. That's basically like HR 101 is how to make an agenda.
Yeah, I mean, Azihara Channel makes an interesting point here as well. He says maybe join up the side scrollers people that have been wanting to do a con, but the problem is that side scrollers have been getting a bit too political, and I think that's a good point to raise as well, particularly with the jelly situation. Is that at the moment the attack is mainly coming from people of a certain political opinion, mostly on the left, but at the same time you don't want to have too many people from the other side either coming in, because they functionally they're basically no different from the left political rages, because they'll be constantly demanding Phase is always based in right wing, or else they'll do the exact same shit that the left does, basically. Is the problem. So I think Sakana knows he doesn't want to have that kind of fan base either.
You don't want to pander to either of those.
Yeah, you don't want to pander to any extreme level. You want people who watch your organization because they genuinely like the talent and come for entertainment, not because they have their political opinions basically repeated back to them.
You want people who enjoy the product, not fickle people with no loyalty who would betray it the first moment you start saying something they don't like.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Well said. Yeah. Oh god, I can't think of anything
you want fans, not posers.
You want fans, yeah, not culture warriors, basically, yeah.
It's not so much culture warriors as it is ideologically motivated individuals.
Yeah, I do find it.
Whether they be left, right, whatever, you don't want either of them because they're essentially the same, just a different color.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't want the wokiest, and you don't want the chuddiest. You want fans.
Yeah, you can't give either fans, or you can't give the audiences too much power either, so that they dictate, company policy. Basically, I think it's one of the major problems with Niji Sanji is that they have a partisan. Yeah,
I've used that before. Is that you shouldn't become a slave to your audience.
Yeah,
I've seen a couple of independent VTuber make that mistake, where like they give in too much power to their fan. Essentially, while their fans kind of like puppet them and decide what they can and cannot do. And, that's such a terrible way to live.
Yeah, I always think of like Rosemi in a fucking hash brown, a McDonald's thing, right?
Yeah, that's pretty depressing.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Niji Sanji Yen specifically is very, very much that. Yeah.
They flew too close to the Fujo sun.
One person who has resisted that pretty well, though, is Scarlet, who I really like.
Scarlet too. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, poor Scarlet.
I don't know if you remember that incident, but at some point she went to like McDonald's and they tried to pull the fast one on her as well. And she went no politics and she just started banning a bunch of people who mentioned it. Like some people tried to make it a thing and stuff, but she was adamant no politics. She didn't acknowledge it, and people essentially, the gas of the drama kind of ran out. because she was smart enough to enforce her rules and not listen to anything else.
Okay, how dare you
I'm
go
pretty
to McDonald's?
and
You
you know-
support genocide.
The thing that sucks is that I'm pretty sure she had to take a break still, because I remember a tweet from Folger's PL or personal accounts who mentioned that like Scarlet was going on hiatus. Maybe it was not at the same time. I don't remember. I don't remember, so I'm not gonna say for sure. But I do remember that incident with the McDonald's stuff, and she stood her ground. And that was the great thing. I imagine she might have gotten pressured from staff to like do something about it, but she didn't. That's yeah.
Yeah, well, this is the thing, the lads. So the reason why Niji Sanji Ian management was giving her hell for that is because they've given their audiences too much power, and they basically betray their talents to their audiences because they're cowards. Basically, that's why they do it.
Yep. And again, who in that sort of position would be a coward? Well, people with no business experience. So, teenagers, young adults, fresh out of uni, students,
Brainwashed retards, yep.
Yeah. I mean, if it's their first job, do you really expect them to be anything else but cowards?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Again, when you look into it and when you start thinking about it as like a person, well, you start noticing the patterns, and it all makes sense when you think about it. So that, again, most people just don't think about it in that way. Either they're schizoing about like a lot, a great lot, a great plan, a master plan, or either they're trying to like make it something that it is not.
Yeah,
or they're completely ignoring the forest for the trees.
Yeah, one thing I kind of want to do, but I don't know, I just don't have the fucking time or energy to do it. I'm certain, right, you'd expect it, particularly when it comes to conventions and the cosplaying kind of community, is that there's going to be cronyism, nepotism, favoritism, all that shit's in there. I'm kind of tempted to kind of do like an investigation into it almost and be like, this is that. Let's uncover the dark underbelly of what goes on in like anime and VTuber conventions and see like that, just unravel all that disgusting shit. Basically do a Nick Salter or whatever the fuck his name is, but for VTuber and anime cons is something I'm interested in doing. I wonder how deep the rabbit hole goes, but at the same time, I'm not sure if I'm convinced that cosplayers have that much of an influence, at least on like the decisions of businesses when it comes to convention stuff. I'm not sure, but
I mean, God. The moment I say that name, I know some people are gonna go haywire. But Vic Manonia happened.
Oh, yeah.
Do they not have that much power? I don't know, dude. I mean, they did Vic pretty bad.
They did do Vic pretty bad, but I don't know. I guess the thing is, though, Vic's an individual, whereas like Hololive, FaZe, Niji Sanji, they're a company, so I'm not sure. But I don't know. I guess we'll see. Maybe I will try to do a little investigation, speak to some cosplayers, and see if I can get the down low on what's going on.
I'm still waiting for the Dizzy documentary. When is it?
Within the next week. I've got this week off, so I mean, I've got plenty of time now to do the recording. I just need to finish my recording and editing. So coming soon. Coming soon. I had to get FaZe to put out the way.
I have the yellow fever. I need my
you have the yellow fever, the pick me fever, yes. All the fevers, yeah.
Dude. Okay, that's gonna be so cringe because I'm gonna be fangirling a bit. But when that song came out, I actually when Dizzy made that post, I actually commented on the post. Yelling like, yes, I would pick Dizzy every time. It was something different. I remember it was like someone posted a 4chan thing where they were basically like insulting Dizzy, and like the caption was woman hand wrote this when they were calling her a pick me and stuff, and then I typed, yes, I would pick Dizzy every time.
I mean, who wouldn't?
I actually think that's like one of most liked and retweeted tweets. It really blew up.
I mean, only the monstrous would challenge you, I think.
I'm pretty good. Oh no, we challenge each other all the time already. You can ask him.
Yeah. It's funny. I had to side with you actually when you made that comment that implying the monstrous has a chance. I was like, oh my god, Zan's gonna win this. That confidence, that aura.
I don't know. I don't remember Dizzy ever mentioning that she's got something for the French, does she?
I don't think so. I don't think she's ever had a commentary on the French. No, so you should be fine. You should be fine, I reckon.
Well, if she ever likes, I don't know, a 5'3", beard, well, you know my build.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad you like Facelander. Have you seen Dizzy's move during the concert? Girl can move. I mean, Dizzy's performance on stage was a bloody good bit of VTubing. All right, that's a good VTuber right there.
I mean, I take great offense to the idea that I would have not seen it.
Oh my goodness! Oh my god, she had the moves. She had the moves, man. Whew.
Oh, she had the moves.
She had the moves. Fucking hell! I've never seen something so erotic before. Fucking hell.
Not gonna lie, as cringy as it is, I will admit it. I did the. I went like, oh, when she did it. I did the thing.
You did the thing. Oh my goodness. Now, I was genuinely shocked when I saw those moves from Dizzy as well. I was like, oh my god, Dizzy actually can be pretty sexy.
She's told the anecdote about being pretty flexible before, so I sort of expected it. I just didn't expect her to full send it.
I thought she was lying,
How dare you do not trust Dizzy? In Dizzy we trust.
I don't believe a word Dizzy says half the time. I couldn't believe she was telling the truth, being a gym rat and really flexible. I was like, oh my goodness. I'm sorry, my lady.
Now you can't. Now you can't ignore the truth. It's in front of you.
I'll never doubt Dizzy again.
Good.
I mean, I think we've pretty much covered everything I thought about. I guess yapping about today. Is there anything you want to bring up and talk about as well?
How come you're not the one who interviewed the Oshi Push creative director? How come Armchair gets to do that and not you?
I don't know. Good question.
See?
Good question. I don't know.
Because as far as I know, you are the biggest shill for no smear to Armchair. Everyone who knows me know how much I enjoy and share a similar wavelength with Armchair. But I was like, why didn't Maulington get this? Isn't it like the biggest Oshi push? I mean, I don't know if you've told that anecdote, but I still remember like going to the convention early morning and seeing you at the table. And when I left, you were still at the table playing.
So just to give context to guys in the chat,
12 hours straight.
Me and ZAN-VT met at Vexpo in real life, and I was working, as you guys might remember, I was working the Oshi push table there. So obviously I had to get there before the con started to set up the booth with everybody. And so my job there was to be the I was there to teach people how to play Oshi Push, and I shit you not, right? I was there for 14 hours, 12 hours straight. I can't remember how long now. I was playing Oshi Push for 12 hours straight, teaching people how to do it. So I was like doing it for so long that my voice was basically completely dead. It was gone by the end of day one. So that's kind of like what I was doing at Vexpo. But I think the reason why
that's pretty funny, because I came to you at the end of that day and I heard your voice and I was like, okay, no, it's fine. We'll talk again tomorrow.
It's like I couldn't really have time to do things. But I think the reason why Armchair was picked is because he's a much bigger channel and he's considerably less of a brand risk than I am, and he's more he's more structured, I suppose, than I am, because I like my chaos and screwing around. So that's probably why they picked him. So I don't feel any I get it. I understand. I'm not sore about that. I mean, I'd like to have done it, sure, but I'm not sore about it. It's like I get it. It's no problem with me.
Have you seen that the Vexpo dates got announced?
I'll only go to Vexpo if Oshi Push invite me again, so I really don't care. If Oshi Push is saying we're going to Vexpo again, then I'll go to Vexpo. I ain't going
like... Oshi Push, are you listening? Invite this man. He's the biggest chill you have.
Oh man, once I've made the Dizzy docu, I'm going to make like 7 Oshi Push videos. There'll be 11 now, 12 on how to play each deck, because my fucking Oshi Push autism has not stopped yet. I'm still addicted.
You've played like almost 20 hours straight at Vexpo and you're still not done.
More like 36 hours at Vexpo, honestly. Yeah, I'm still not done. I spent 300 hours playing it on Tabletop Simulator plus 36 hours at Vexpo.
God, I really gotta catch up.
More Oshi Push is coming. I love it. I love the game.
Yeah, I saw that they announced the next wave of cards. There's like some indie talents, actually.
Yeah, there's Porcelain Maid, Joel. There's I don't know the rest of them really. There's Eden. There's La Aspa, a Spanish bee lady, I think she is. There's a femboy, Lime Chew. I think Lime Chew is pretty big, but I'm not familiar with Lime Chew.
The first thing that comes out of your mouth, yes, femboy. Look, point fingers.
Not me, a different femboy. I mean, I'm not a femboy, but a femboy.
No, you don't look like a femboy.
No, I don't.
I mean,
thank you. Thank you.
I guess with a bit of makeup and a wig.
No makeup, no wigs.
You'd be a pretty thick-looking femboy, but yeah, maybe.
Oh God, turning me into Cloud from Final Fantasy VII. Fucking hell. But what was I going to say? Yes, so FaZe Alias will be part of Set 3.
Cloud's not a femboy; he's a twink.
Oh yes, that's. Oh my God, I'd rather be a femboy than a twink, honestly. At least, goodness me.
I don't mean that derogatorily. That's just what he...
I do. No twink. Maulington is definitely not a twink of anything. No twinks here.
Damn, you know that the more you hate on one type of audience, the more they become your audience. So I hope you're ready to have like a bunch of twinks as your new fans.
About 75% of my audience, I think, are femboys. So I don't know what that says about me. Married women and femboys are my audience, and it's like I don't know what that says about me.
I think that's a good audience.
And there's a great audience. I really like them, but it's like at the same time, if my audience are femboys and married women, what does that imply about me? What does it mean?
I mean, are the women married to the femboys?
No, their husbands are all
here?
real proper men, and I like being silly with them. That's the thing. I become friends with married VTubers to go after their husbands because their husbands are hilarious.
What do you mean, proper men?
Proper men. They're not like VTuber fans. They're proper men. You know what I mean? They're
proper men. Definition, not VTuber.
Not VTuber fans. Yeah. Thank you very much for the gifted membership, I study, buddy. But
well, I imagine you're gonna be as soon as they're released, you're gonna be jumping onto that Gen 2, I guess.
Oh, I'm fucking up. I'm so excited for FaZe Alias, man, and being put into Oshi Push. I'm so excited. I spoke to the project manager yesterday just to add like a couple more Panko moments, and she said that Panko was done a couple weeks ago, so we just have to wait. Mm-hmm. We just have to wait another 3-4 months.
Panko, let's go.
We're gonna have Panko and everyone, yeah.
It's actually funny you say that because like when I was in my car, I played on repeat Yasobi like 3 times because I was so into it.
It's really good.
Great song,
yeah.
Great cover. I remember when I was there at Vexpo when she sang it, I was pretty rad. You know, that's actually what got me into Panko because like I knew her before. I saw some clips of her and stuff, but I had never got really much into her. But like seeing her sing that song at Vexpo, I don't know, it just kind of unlocked something in me. And now, the Panko's pretty good.
That's good, yeah. I can't remember.
Normies.
She fucking normies.
Fucking normies.
Fucking normies.
I like that.
I can't remember what got me into Panko. I think it's probably one of her like hand-can cooking streams from a couple years ago. But like, what makes me love Panko is the Indian stuff and the do not redeem.
Didn't she say she would do less Indian jokes?
She did. I think Panko got noticed by a couple of the like Indian ultra nationalist online types, so I think she's kind of like I heard rumors that apparently a sponsor dropped her because of those jokes as well. I don't know if that's true, but I believe that maybe that's what happened or something like that. But yeah, those online Indian ultra nationalists, man, they're almost as bad as the Chinese. So it's like I get it if Panko wants to lay low. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you're aware, but technically China and India are still at war. Technically speaking,
they are.
It's just that they're actually fighting like on their border. It's just that they're not allowed to use gun and stuff. So they use trident.
Then they use batons and like, melee weapons.
And, and like they're just duking it out like gladiator style.
We will see Wemmy and Oshi Push soon. Wemmy is coming to Oshi Push.
Just to measure their size and that's that.
Yeah. Thank you very much for the $2, Ross. Thank you very much, buddy. My favorite furry. Let's go. Thank you very much for the other gifted membership, I study. Panko doing the Sam Howard is great. We're not doing this. You're getting called a slur. I don't know whichever one I like saying at the moment. I mean, it's true. Mega based.
Yeah. Is she really Italian? Or is that just a giant meme?
She is Italian. She is genuinely Italian. Yeah. She is.
Damn. That means Penko's my neighbor. Damn.
You know, just briefly going back to the latest face slander, when you sent me that DM last night about calling Clara a traitor, it gave me a good laugh.
Oh yeah, you did not do that.
When you said that, I was waiting for someone to say that, but when I saw the original Alex Jones interview and I heard him go traitor, I was like, oh my god, I have to put Clara there. But then at the same time, I felt really bad because it's like, oh, I'm sure the Omis are still really sore about it and I don't want to upset them. But at the same time, it's so perfect to put it there.
You know, it's just one of those things where, like, it's obviously just so horrible to do, but at the same time, you kind of have to do it because it is so horrible.
Because it's just funny, yeah.
Where you know, when I saw that, I literally put my face in my hand. I just went,
yeah. I was prepared for major backlash over that one, but I think most people seem to have taken it in good humor.
It's just one of those things that is gonna age like wine. It's gonna be good at the end, but currently it's a bit still.
It's still a bit early. Yeah, it's a bit early.
It's fine, I guess.
Yeah. Oh yeah, actually, sorry, I forgot. Yes, guys, if you want to ask us or you ask us questions in the chat and we can answer stuff, that's fine. Could Mr. Zam talk about the proper response as to customer to situations like Jellygate? What's the proper way to write a complaint to the proper channels and so on? So I think he's asking there, if you're a fan and you want to make your displeasure to FaZe Connect, how do you do it in a proper manner, basically, to make your voice heard?
Well, there's a couple of ways to do it. You know, as much as it is a meme and it doesn't always work, vote with your wallet is about a thing. I don't know if all the people that said that canceled their ticket for FaceCon and stuff really did, but if they did, well, that's one way to vote with your wallet. Although, you know, it's more complicated because, you know, it's a convention and stuff and people might really want to see the community and stuff. So I guess if you really want to quote unquote vote with your wallets, it's better to like cancel merch order and stuff, especially because, you know, not gonna lie. Another thing that FaZe is struggling with is like making better merch.
Oh my god, the merchandise.
The merch at convention is generally decent and nice looking, if a bit expensive. Again, the KPP sleepers, huge recommend, pretty good. I don't know if you're gonna have some again. But like, I don't know, for like stuff that like they mailed in and stuff, and like I think Armchair touched on this already, like as much as FaZe merch never arriving is a bit of a meme, like I really think that like we're getting to a point where it's generally gonna start to be a problem and they need to figure it out.
Yeah, I've been saying this for like a year now, that it's cute and funny and quirky when FaZe has been around for like 2 years or whatever, but after 5 years, it's like the merchandise takes way too fucking long to arrive, it's shit quality and it's expensive, and the choices are uninspired and often shit as well. It's like, we've had enough now, FaZe Connect. It's not funny anymore. Yeah. Like, fix it.
I mean, when you have like bootleg Daki companies who are making better Dakis than the one you have available.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's not a good look. It's not a good look, especially when you're trying to be like a professional outfit now and look like a big boy.
Like, you know, it's not like me where I try to look for a Marine Daki because I know I'm never getting the official Japanese Daki and stuff, and I'm looking at those bootleg and I'm like, yeah, you know, it's because I really want it and, you know, there's no way for me to get a legit one, so, you know, yeah. But like, come on, this is FaZe Connect. Like, you went to Vexpo, you should be able to ship shit to Europe. You're out of Canada. Surely getting things through the border to the US shouldn't be this hard. Like, come on. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Clearly, in terms of logistic, there are a bunch of issues that needs to be looked into.
My Pippa plushie is good because someone else made it. Yeah, I mean, Oshi Push make better desk mats than fucking FaZe Connect does. Like, Oshi Push makes better FaZe Connect desk mats than Oshi Push make better FaZe Connect desk mats than fucking FaZe Connect does.
I mean, at this point, someone should just subcontract. I don't know, like. Market or Gamer Subs or whoever to like make Face Connect merch at this point. That's how bad it is.
Yeah.
It legit would be better.
Rouge Shady asks, how much does all of this impact the Face Connect standing with the fans?
Just before to finish, another thing you can do as well is obviously, there's customer feedback forms and stuff. Like, like don't go like full aggro and stuff and throw insults. Like just try to be honest, genuine, and like not in a scolding manner, but more in the I'm disappointed, I don't like the way this is going manner. Like, try to be diplomatic about it. Try to make something that resemble, customer feedback rather than just an elaborate shitpost or just going, yeah, bad company, mad.
Yeah. Is it like, write just like a formal email instead of like spurging out like it's Twitter in the email. Just be like, here's what I'm going to do. And here's why I'm going to do it. So I'm going to unsubscribe, or I'm going to refund my ticket to FazeCon, or I'm not going to buy any merch from you anymore. So these are the consequences, and then here's why I'm doing this. So I'm doing this because I don't like the way that you've treated Jelly. I think it's unacceptable, and I don't like the way I feel offended as a fan, or however it's affected you personally, and then leave it like that. And then it's good to both vote with your wallet and also signal exactly why you're doing it, because the problem is that if you just stop giving them money and remain quiet, then there's always a chance that they don't actually understand that there is a problem, what caused that to happen. So it's good to tell them at the same time why you're doing it.
See, one of the things that's also very important and why you need someone with PR capabilities is being able to cut through the noise and discern who is someone trying to profit from the situation for, like, I don't know, like Twitter engagement, clout, or just because they don't like Face Connect in general, because they don't like Face Connect audience, because they don't like a Face Connect talent, and discern, the politics purg, like discern through all that, and between the people who are genuine Face fans, members, pillars of the community and whatnot, and when they're saying they're scared, they're afraid, when they're saying that this is a problem, this wasn't addressed properly or competently, like, you need, when you're like a CEO or stuff like that, you don't have time to parsec through all that information, and so you need someone with the capabilities to do that. So again, we go back to this: hire capable staff. That's the one solution to everything.
Exactly.
And if possible, someone who is capable of being loyal to either the brand, money, you, whatever, but someone that you can have decent trust into to actually do their job and be semi-competent at it.
Exactly. And one thing you have to remember from the company standpoint as well is that, again, like, talk is cheap, actions speak louder than words. And what we're going to get with the Jelly situation is a load of liars, tourists, and people looking for drama and looking to fan the flames will pretend to be Face Connect fans and will just like spurg out about the politics of the situation. And from a company standpoint, like, you don't care if people just make noise on social media if it doesn't change anything. So by sending them like a proper email that shows you're genuinely engaged and care about the situation, then that will cut more deeply with management than just some random schizo, as far as they're concerned, screaming on social media. Basically, it separates a true fan from someone just looking to be angry for some reason.
I mean, people making noise can still be a problem for the company for a lot of reasons. But, the issue is not that they upset these people, because, these people are not Face fans, so who cares that they're upset? The issue is more that, the spotlight is on you and they're making all those noises and it's being mildly inconvenient.
Does Zan's arm ever get tired? I've got the PNG of you pointing your finger up on stream. I think that's why you said that. No, it's like me. Because Zan is French and I'm English, we've got very strong sword arms, you see. So we can keep our arm in the same position for a very long time. Yeah.
I mean, I guess it would be a bit of a stretch to say that this is my job, but fuck it, I'm gonna say it because it's funny. I'm a milkman. I'm used to carrying around weight, shit. So that's fine. My arms are made of steel.
Hell yeah. Is it really hard on your back as well, being a milkman, or is it mostly arm-based?
I mean, I'm not milkman exactly. I work in a management position
Oh, I
in
see.
a retail
Yep.
store.
Gotcha.
But I handle the all the milk section and stuff. And yeah, it can get hard on the back. That's why I've tried my best to do things in a way that don't hamper my back too much.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I'm always worried about the knees and the back, particularly once you're over your 30s, are the things you got to watch out for.
Yeah. It's fine. I'm not gonna do this job forever. It's like until I find something else. But it's it allows me interesting hours. It's a decent pay with nice bonuses if I sell a lot of shit. And here's a thing. I got a bit of a silver tongue. I'm very good at selling shit.
Yeah, I mean, I would say particularly because you've got a
it's-
French accent as well, but I guess it doesn't work
Yeah.
again with other French people though.
I'm very good at talking. That's one of my core skills. So, selling stuff to clients, very easy. Not a
Yeah.
problem for me. I'm very good with the customers. They generally tend to really like me. And so, it's... let's just say that my area in the retail store is one of the one that's doing the best currently for a very good reason. That's because I'm in charge of it.
Good. Sell milk to lonely English women. Bonjour, mademoiselle. Would you like to buy some of my milk? Oh, oui, oui.
I am the milkman.
Maybe I give you some extra, huh? Extra milk. Okay, so Rue Shady says, okay, big question. How much does all of this impact the Phase Connect standing with the fans? Is it negligible, mild, or severe?
It's it depends how it goes moving forward.
Yeah,
But
I
I
think
would
so.
say at a baseline, it's mild. At the worst, if things keep going wrong, it would be severe. It's very much, again, it's whether it becomes a pattern or not.
Yeah.
As of yet, it's still a pretty bad stain. I know
ZAN
things
is
are
French,
still very
yep.
recent and they're still not to think about, but it really does reveal some of Phase Connect's biggest shortcoming. Again, not having capable staff to handle this, having a bad response, rushing out a response that was poorly written, not having the necessary safeguards in place so that a situation like this could be handled appropriately.
Yeah, it's like a cut, right, I'd say at the moment.
No
And it's
crisis management protocol. That's the big one.
I'd say it's like a cut, and the problem is that if you have a load of tiny cuts before they have a chance to heal, then that can kill you. Whereas if you have a cut but then give it time to heal, then it becomes not a bad thing. So it's kind of like you say, at the moment in isolation, mild, but if this happens again and it happens recently as well at the same time, then it becomes a problem basically, then it becomes something much worse.
Basically, FaZe is very vulnerable right now because a lot of their shortcomings are bare for all to see. And, they need to get a hand on this and fix these problems ASAP. And until then, until some time has passed, until they've amended some of those damaged relationship, until FaZe Connect, FaZe Con has gone by and it's been, hopefully it goes well. I'd say they're kind of all in on FaZeCon at this point. FaZeCon needs to be decent at the very least. If too much stuff goes wrong, it's just gonna, basically it's gonna be double whammy because it's like you took all of that reputation damage to sort of protect FaZeCon, and FaZeCon is lame. Wow, we lost so much for this. It's gonna make people even more mad.
Yeah,
and they would be rightfully mad because again we lost.
It's very expensive for the fans as well to get the FaZeCon.
What did it cost? Everything.
Yeah.
So FaZe need to make sure that con is decent. I'm not asking for the most amazing con in the universe. It needs to be decent and serviceable, that people are at the very least mildly happy, and they need to get onto that corporate debt of contract, staffers, crisis management, procedures, all of that, all of the stuff they've been kicking down the road essentially, because now you're at terminus. You gotta get on it.
Felix says, I thought you hated Frenchmen, Maulington. I actually do not hate Frenchmen. I hate Parisians, but I, generally speaking, actually have a very high opinion.
Too. See, that's why we're in good spirit.
I actually, generally speaking, I have a generally high opinion of the French, actually, just not Parisians. So I hate Parisians.
I agree.
Not most French people, actually. I quite like them. Yep.
Parisians
hate.
are not French.
They're
They're Parisians.
They're not even people, but you didn't hear that from me.
Okay. I mean, the French English hate, it's like we're like cousins. So, it's like family feud,
Yeah, it's a good feud. I mean, I went to one of my...
I'd say it's not exactly cousin. It's more like stepbrothers.
Yeah, one of my bros at university was a French guy.
We share Eleanor of Aquitaine as, the mom.
Aquitaine is ours. Give it back, Zan. That's our clay, our property. Give us... I mean, you can have Calais. Well, we don't want Calais, but Aquitaine, we want the kingdom of Aquitaine back.
Oh, yeah, of course you don't want Calais.
You can keep Calais.
Only if we can have Belgium back.
Oh, you know what? Belgium was a state that was created solely to piss off the French, and oh boy, has that worked out well. Yeah,
it was created by the British and the German to piss off the French.
It was. It has worked extremely well for us until that one time when it was oops.
Until that one time.
Yeah.
Until those two times you meant to say.
Those two times, I should say. Sorry. Yeah, those two times. Then it was a bit of a oh fuck.
It was a bit of that didn't work out.
That didn't work out so well that time, no. Okay, sorry, let's find I think I missed a question here from Maston.
Family feud, and we just don't like the Parisians.
Yeah, it's just a bit of fun, actually. You'll notice a lot of people, British people, do like to retire to the south of France in particular.
Yeah,
although
it's very nice.
We hate those kinds of British people though, because they think that Europeans are like just better and the supreme. They're just like really stuck up rich people that we don't like.
No, yeah, they're definitely rich people.
Yeah,
I can confirm.
And they don't even speak French either.
I've worked in like the tourism industry where I live, and we do get mostly German, but we do have some British people, and yeah, I can tell you they're all rich as fuck.
Yeah, they're rich, and then they act superior because they live in the south of France, but then they never bother to integrate or like learn French, and it just annoys all of us, I suppose.
I know it annoys me too. I mean, it's fine for me because like I'm bilingual at this point. Like, actually, I have a very fancy diploma of English capability from the Cambridge University.
There we go.
But but just because I can do it doesn't mean every French person can do it. And French people don't like speaking English. We're we're literally neighbors, but we're one of the worst country in Europe when it comes to like English capabilities. I'm a bit of the odd one out in this case because French people don't really like speaking English.
The spirit of
interacting with English stuff.
Yeah, the spirit of Dougal lives in the French. Yeah,
it does.
Follow-up question.
It's the French way or no way.
Oh, sorry, no, that's the follow-up question. Question: is it still possible for FaZe to fix the various issues that have now been dragged into the open, like the merch, uncontracted talents, and vetting issues? I mean, we did cover this before, but just to say it again, because you might not have been here, it's like yes, we do think so, but they just need to spend that time and money to invest into fixing those issues and investing into themselves instead of conventions. Yeah, I think.
No, things are always fixable. At least that's what I like to believe. Things are always fixable.
Agree.
The question is more too as will it be fixed in time? Like before it becomes too much of a problem that it starts killing the brand or being detrimental to it. No, the question is not of is it fixable, it's like can they fix it in time?
Yeah, exactly. That's a good way of framing it. Yeah. Follow-up question: what should FaZe do from here on? Let the issue simmer down with Fishman apologizing to Jelly, or give in to the mob that wants a public apology from him?
It's done. The internal size has been handled according to Jelly and Dizzy, so there's no reason to drag this along anymore. It's done. It's dusted. Move on.
Yep. Just shut up and keep going.
I think what they've been doing, and that's the good thing to do. Like again, like that statement was terrible, but it's out there, and we can't go back, and we just gotta deal with the fallout now.
Except for Luby and her poor crash out. Bless her. I mean, other than that, they've been mostly fine.
I don't like those crash out either. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
As much as I love the bitter lemon women, I was like,
I get where she was coming from. It's like people were saying that Jelly was forced to do it, and she's getting angry. But it's like, don't shut up, Luby.
Is that like why is she only addressing the politics berg and not talking to like genuine FaZe fan who have genuine concerns?
Yeah,
it kind of like it's
like Luby, just don't fall for it, Luby.
It's noise. It's noise. If you really want to address people and reassure some people, like talk to like genuine face fan. Don't crash out on Politicsburg because they're just gonna embolden them to be even more provocative.
Look, I don't mean to sound very rude and chauvinistic here, but I never got the appeal of Gumbun, guys. She's a 4 out of 10 as far as I'm concerned. There are far better cosplayers out there, like my beloved Yuri cosplayer with the big tits, all right? Proper, lovely, fantastic looking white woman. I mean,
Wow.
she's a much better cosplayer than Gumbun, honestly. You guys, up your standards, all right?
I remember like following Crisis for a while and seeing her disappear from my feed, and I was like, wait, what happened? And it's only recently that I discovered like what happened when you guys talked about it on stream during the Armchair collab and stuff. I was like, oh, so that's what happened. And then suddenly Crisis pops back up again, and she's like, oh.
I like to hope that it was our stream that brought her back, but I don't know if we're just being a bit too egotistical there. But it's like, it's like...
No, it's your stream that brought her back 100%.
Yeah. I'm glad to have Crisis back because she's fucking funny. I like Crisis. And she's a real FaZe fan too. She's a real FaZe fan, which is important. Definitely. Yeah.
You know, I remember seeing a couple of people like back when Gunbun was revealed and stuff going, oh yeah, you guys did Crisis 30 and stuff, and I didn't knew Crisis much back then, so I didn't understand it. But now now that we have the gift of foresight, because foresight is 2020. Well, okay, I get why you guys said that now. I get it now.
Yeah, I guess it's not something that's public knowledge, but I came to that conclusion because I did challenge. Like I was arguing with people at the time when they were picking cosplayers for that Offkai, wasn't it, back then? I remember saying that if Crisis like wanted to go and that she was a choice, then FaZe Connect fucked up by not picking someone who's a genuine fan and who has been cosplaying for a long time. So if Crisis did want to go and was interested in doing it, they should have just straight up invited her instead of like putting it out to applications or then picking other people. And I know that Crisis liked that tweet I made, so from that I gathered, okay, I see what's going on here. She's aggrieved by them doing that, I suppose.
And I mean, I feel like Crisis brands and FaZe Connect brands does overlap,
It does significantly, yeah, absolutely.
Like she really has a FaZe Connect vibe. Like she'd be a great fit.
She would be, yeah, she would, absolutely. I mean, she is a capitalist through and through.
Shout out as well to the Pippa cosplayer at Vexpo last year, who was brave enough to walk around with her tummy out
I saw
in the
that.
freezing weather, cosplaying Pippa. Pretty courageous of her.
And she even let guys pick her up.
I applaud that.
She's having guys pick her up and everything and carry her. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, she really had a great time. Like she wasn't afraid to like lean into the weirdness of VTubing and stuff when she was like a bit of a newer fan and stuff. But She got the vibe. She quickly leaned into it, and and I think she had a great time, and that's great.
More VTuber, I mean, more cosplayers like that, please, instead of the performative ones, please. Thank you very much for the $5, Crystallion. FaZe can gain some rep back if Fishman was in a dunk tank, buy 3 bags of coffee, eat 1 at a Target. I don't know. On that subject, I thought, because FaZe Connect's like a big part of FaZe Connect's appeal is their ability to like laugh at themselves and, Fishman hate. I was wondering if something that they could do to take the burn out of Jelly a little bit would be like a Batsu game for Sakana that the talents do, but then I don't know if that would be a bit too cheesy and disingenuous and just rub people the wrong way as trying to minimize
unfortunately, this problem has been too serious for it to just be laughed off.
Yeah,
it's just one of those things where like it's if it was something minor like merch being delayed yet again, it would be fine to do something like this. It'd be fun even. But now you have all the politics purging and stuff, and it's generally damaging to the FaZe brand, potentially long-term, depending on how it goes moving forward. So you can't just laugh it off with Zatsu game. No, it's too serious.
Yeah.
If the talents still want to make joke about it, they can go ahead. Again, I'm of the partisan that you should be able to humor everything. But, it's just one of those things where I just don't think it's a good idea.
Yes, agree. Are conventions normally moneymakers, or are they thought of as hope to break even things? They are not moneymakers, no. Sorry, go on, Sam. Yeah.
Honestly, it's a pipe dream to hope to break even. You're almost always going to lose money.
Yeah, the point of a convention is an investment
the
into your
merch,
future.
Yeah, it's a loss leader. You're making sure the community is happy, gets to interact with each other, and gets to grow. It's gonna sound wrong the way I said it, so please understand that this is very specific to VTubing. Grow deeper parasocial bonds with like the company, the talents, and other fans. Essentially it's a moment where you get more loyalty out of your fans toward you and the talent they like.
Satin Stars, that's it, Tor. Do you think FaZe can survive if any Gen 1 leaves? I mean, yeah, quite easily, yeah.
I mean, if people leave, it'd be pretty bad. Because she's the face.
Bad. Yeah.
She's the face of FaZe Connect. But if one of the other leaves, well, it's gonna hurt. But
it's gonna hurt bad.
It's gonna jeopardize the company.
I think FaZe Connect can survive even with losing Pippa, but it's like a wound they'd never recover from.
Yeah, true, because she's been the face of the company for so long. But like it's more that, especially because of recent events, the incident, it would make it look worse than it is. It's very similar to what happened with Hololive, where yes, they did lose a lot of talent, but a lot of the talent they lost were the old guard that, well, you can't keep working at the same job forever, so eventually you're gonna leave.
Yeah.
But it's just that because so many people contract ran out and they all left at the same time, it made it look worse than it is. Because yes, a lot of talent did leave Hololive, but guess what? They had new waves, and those waves have been extremely successful in a shorter time than like the previous wave, because they keep building up and up. So it's like Hololive's fine. I mean, they've been making a lot of stupid mistake, but that's another problem. It's not the fact that talent left that's a problem.
Yeah,
because you can't keep the people around forever. At some point,
no, you can't.
Especially our generation, we don't have that brand loyalty that the generation before us, the boomers, used to have, where I worked the same job for 50 years. That's not something in our world anymore.
Yeah,
that never happens. It's completely unrealistic. So after 5 years now is estimated to generally be the lifetime of someone staying at a job. Usually after 5 years, it's either they're gonna renew for another 5 years or they're gonna leave.
I do it in 3 myself. Yeah.
It's either one or the other. And if they renew, it's because they've had, since then they have had a pay increase and they've been treated very well and they still believe in the company and whatnot. But if they only had a minor pay upgrade and stuff, people will always leave. So, I'm not shocked that... I mean, it's tiresome being an entertainer and a VTuber. It's
draining.
I will be the first to shit on Hassan for his, streaming is harder than having a real job. That's such a stupid, moronic take. But it's true that it is a type of difficult and tiresome that is very unique to itself and that you don't see in other job. It's a very mentally draining type of job.
It is. You'd be surprised about how long it can take to do something that seems so quick and easy and low effort. Like editing, making Facelander 4, it took me 3 hours just to find all those PNGs for like a shitpost. So you would be surprised at how long it can take to make something that just take a 4-minute shitpost. And what you have to remember is a lot of YouTubers work full time as well. So I genuinely have no idea how the fuck Tenma finds the time to do a full-time job and put all that effort into a stream that she does as well, particularly on the visual side.
Ask any content creator what they think about the fact that Russian Badger does all these high quality with mocap suits and stuff, and that he edits all of that himself. Like, people always say that he's fucking mental for that, and that like that is like basically torturing himself. Like everyone else, even like everyone else is getting like editors and stuff to do that for them, but then you have people like Maxo or Russian Badger who care about what the product they put out so much that they don't believe someone else would be able to replicate their style, and so they want to be on top of everything. Granted, that make it that the content come out slower, but it's definitely extremely high quality content. So either that's why they're so reliant on sponsorship and partnership with like Gamersub, for example, when it
Yeah.
comes to like Russian Badger and Maxor, because like because it's so high quality and edited and there's so much that goes into it, losing the ad revenue hurts so much that they're very much dependent on keeping their audience happy, and that's why they do the things they do it the way they do. It's not like regular streaming where like you have to care about your audience, but you can have sponsorship money to compensate. You don't get that much of sponsorship money when you release a video once every 3 months, So
Yeah, it's easy for Hassan because he gets his chair to do 90% of the streaming, but for content creators who put effort in, it's actually very time consuming and it can be quite hard to do.
yes.
Yeah. Mustard asks,
the video genuinely takes 3 months to make, genuinely.
Yeah.
And that's terrifying when you think about it.
Exactly, and that's a lot of hours as well in that 3 months as well. So yeah, it's a hell of a long time.
So you can imagine also why some people like absolutely crash out when they get their AdSense taken away, because 3 months of like grueling hours, 6 days of the week, and all of that for their AdSense to get knocked out at the first minute. Like, yeah.
Yeah, that's why we've seen a lot of the death of a lot of the great YouTube animators as well, amongst other things.
Yep.
Maston asks, there have been people like Crisis, Kirsha, and Kiba Wu who've hinted Jellygate is a window to deeper issues within Phase. Thoughts? I have no idea where that comes from. They're closer with the talents and the organisation than we are, obviously. I have no comment on it because I have no idea where that's coming from. I don't know about you, Zan.
Same.
Yep, no idea.
I mean, do you mean like deeper problem, as in the things we've talked before, as in the fact that they don't have enough capable staff and that they should invest
I
in
think the implication is
corporate
political.
structures?
I think it's more of a wokist leftist thing. I think he's saying.
Again, I think it's very much missing the forest for the trees. Well, like you're trying to create this master plan, this grand rat of like political nonsense, where it's more that it's couple of key individuals who are ideologically motivated, who have found a common ground for like this one occasion, but it's not like generally kind of like political takeover. No, that's pure rat. That's nonsense. That's just nonsense.
I guess my instinctual reaction to that comment is I think that, with respectfully, again, I'm a big Kirsha fan. I love Kirsha, but Kirsha's been in the minds of, of having people slander her, smear her, and being involved in the off-kai stuff. I wonder if I don't know, she could know something we don't, but I'm inclined to believe at this point in time that it's just her default, her natural instinct is to go for political conspiracies because that's her life, basically, right? Like, I think she's jumping the gun for the moment, but if it's true, then it will come out and we'll see. So, yeah. See any question?
Even for the off-kai stuff, it was like a couple of key people who did have political motivation, but had like unchecked power more so than the entirety of off-kai being like politically motivated in a sense. Again, it's just the issue is that you have a couple of key individuals who are running it for everyone else.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no grandmaster conspiracy. It's just a couple of individuals who are making decisions with unchecked power and being above, creating problems for everyone else when, it shouldn't be a problem in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. I don't think we've got any more questions. I don't know. Is there anything else you want to talk about, Zan? Oh, no, we literally just got a question. A FaceCon question. The hotel cap is somewhere between 3 to 4k people. What percentage of that cap would constitute success in terms of attendance numbers? I don't know. You'd have to ask Sakura, I guess, that question. But
I mean, again, it depends on like what are Sakana's expectation. But from what I learned organizing events myself and working with people who are organizers, generally you'd call something decently successful if you hit the 70 to 80% like of your expectations. Generally, that's what you want. Generally, it's entirely dependent on how much Sakana wants. But let's say he wants the things completely filled, he should have 70 to 80% of like attendance rate of the the convention center for him to be happy.
Yeah. I have no idea. I've never like organized a con before, so I don't know what's like normal and what the expectations are. So I have no comment on it myself.
If you don't mind, I enjoy taking a break so we can, get a leak in and stuff.
Yeah, of course you can. Yeah, don't worry. Yeah, please do. If FaZe's got a huge independent VTuber, do you think they would go off the rails? I guess it depends, right? FaZe, Sakana does pick people who provide a specific thing to FaZe that he wants, right? He picked up Cleo, and Cleo has been a fantastic addition to FaZe Connect. I think she's FaZe Connect's biggest talent now. She's been a rapid success, so I guess it just depends on who he picks. But it's important to remember as well that FaZe Connect, they have the basement, and the purpose of the basement is to make sure that the talent is a right fit for the organization. But it's something I've said before, and it's something that's shown with like Clara and some of the other shenanigans that are going on potentially behind the scenes, is that, nothing's foolproof, and that it's very easy to like lie and deceive the basement. So one of the major problems I think FaZe Connect will have going forwards is to make sure it doesn't keep hiring people who are going to be massive liabilities for the company and alienate the fan base, like your Claras and whatnot as well. And I think the problem is that the problem really isn't that a FaZe Connect talent is like, oh, the left wing. It's like no one reasonable gives a fuck that the talent is like left wing. It's like we don't want to hear your political opinions, and don't be rude and disrespectful to the fans, really. Like, I'm sure that there are plenty, because they're women at the end of the day, and a lot of, even though they're Asian, they're still like westernized women. I'm sure an awful lot of FaZe Connect talents behind the scenes, like left wing and anti-abortion and all that shit. I don't give a fuck. Who cares? I'm not coming here for my political opinions to be validated. Just don't browbeat us over it, and don't get caught is the thing, really. So you can have those opinions, just don't get caught doing it, or at least don't get caught saying stuff that will disgust the fans and like show an absolute contempt for them. Welcome back. Sorry, I was just finishing a point there. I don't think we're not really getting any more other questions. I don't know. I don't think it's really public knowledge yet. But did you see the Discord comments between Gumbum and Amy? Sorry, I've said her name wrong there. Did you see like that communication?
The Rev stuff?
Yeah, the Rev stuff, yeah.
Yeah, I did. Actually, if you pull up my Twitter right now and go back, I'm pretty sure I've commented on it.
Oh, have you? Okay, let me get it up. ZAN-VT.
I think like Crisis actually like made a comment. That was like something people seemingly agreed a lot with, which frankly I agree with myself.
Yeah, I haven't, honestly. I saw someone sent me that screenshot in the DMs, and I think I found it here. Is it the one you sent on the 15th about being able to humor almost anything? Is it that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you go look at the comments, Crisis made one that I think was very pertinent to the situation. Because, I don't speak much on like creep shot and stuff on that because, I'm not in a position where I understand things around that great because they're just out of my comfort zone. So when Crisis told me that, well, Gumbun's behavior is like essentially very, very naughty, I'm like, yep, I'm gonna take your word for it because I can't comment on that. I'm uninitiated in such things.
Yeah. That's gonna be a fucking nightmare.
So basically, whatever Crisis says, well, I'll believe because I believe Crisis' opinion is better than mine.
Yeah, so what Crisis says is she says, I don't know, you should really never be taking photos of people without their consent. Any cosplayer should really be aware of how weird and gross it feels to have creep shots taken of them. So it's really about doing unto others what you'd have done unto you, in my opinion. I think that's fair as well. Like when I was at Vexpo, I took a picture of that guy who was doing the Helldivers cosplay, but I didn't just cheekily take a snapshot about his consent. I went up to him and asked his permission. I was like, is it okay if I take a picture of this?
Yeah, he was a cool guy, by the way.
He was a very cool guy, yeah. And so that's Crisis who said that. Sorry, not Amy. But I don't think it's really, no one's really noticed or no one's really caring at the moment, but it's like with the Rev hoodie, is that the thing, I can't really comment on it because I haven't properly read it, because I don't really care. So I'm not actually exactly sure what really happened. But apparently Amy was talking to Gunbun about it as well. But I don't know exactly what she was saying.
No, it's just that she shared surprises to Gunbun's comment. She didn't like get into a deep philosophical discussion about it. You know what I mean? She was just like, "Oh, okay," that sort of vibe.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Or she acknowledged that she posted that, but she didn't like specifically give her mind on it.
Okay, yeah, because I know some people were like reaching out to me about that, and they were like, and I think that the implication was that Amy's like a Gunbun like, type of person as well. But I'm like, I don't know, I don't care.
Amy
really.
could clearly see that this was a bad idea because she immediately tried to switch the discussion.
Okay, yeah. I think it's probably
like,
yeah. Yeah, I mean, they should
Amy's
be
fine.
doing it on the fucking Face Connect Discord though to begin with, like publicly like that. Like for fuck's sake,
that
guys.
everyone can see that.
Yeah.
Now, I saw that some people mentioned about how like she was like a con staffer or something. I don't know if that's true. If that's the case, well, that's not very cool. Besides the point that Crisis mentioned that as a cosplayer she shouldn't do that because she'd probably hate if that happened to her.
Yeah.
Especially for the way of making fun of the person and the content creator around it. That feels like double whammy. So
Oh, I see, Felix.
I
It's like
I don't really care if some people don't like each other. Again, it's fine. I don't like a lot of people. The issue is that when you go out of your way to try and sabotage things or take creep shots of people, then that's a bit more of a problem.
Every time I think of creep shots in convention, I think of that blue fedora wearing furry guy in his cringe comic with the baseball bat. I forget his name. Oh my god. I don't know, just go on a tangent quickly. The Lolicon versus furry like war that's been going on since time immemorial is so strange to me. Like I don't get why furries and Lolicons hate each other so much.
It's because they're morally grandstanding each other.
Oh, I see. Okay. Like you would have thought
called PDF file and the other are getting called animal enjoyers, and it's a stupid fight.
I just would have thought that people who are like being attacked for their sexual preferences would want to band together for being weird, I guess, and off the norm, I suppose.
No, because my version is okay, not their version.
Yeah, that old chestnut. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I love that Dobson got called out actually as well for that comic strip he did. It's so embarrassing. I posted this question before. Now Jelly's become a culture warrior symbol against her will. Got new fans who see her as another Amelia Torelli around. How will that affect Jelly and her community?
It's easy. Just don't entertain them.
Don't entertain them. They'll get bored and go somewhere else eventually.
Exactly.
Some of them will be converted into genuine fans who appreciate Jelly for what she is. It's like Pippa with Hogwarts Legacy.
Just wait until they realize that Jelly is Asian.
Just wait till she's brown. Yeah. Wait a minute, she's brown and she lives in a mud hut. Ugh, disgusting. Junkie. Joses.
Yes, I would date the Asian living in the mud hut. I have yellow fever. I don't care. I don't care if she's brown. I'll do it.
I don't mean a Hogwarts.
For the people.
Yeah, I don't mean a Hogwarts situation in terms of the subscriber benefit to Jelly. I mean it in terms of a lot of people gravitated towards. A lot of people subscribed and followed Pippa because of Hogwarts Legacy, expecting a culture warrior, schizo pink rabbit woman, and then a lot of them did stay, converted into proper fans. But then there's also been a still lingering, I guess, element of people who seem to be under this misconception that Pippa would be making like silly jokes about shoes and wooden doors and all sorts of crazy shit if it wasn't for that damn fishman and that cuck Canadian company like restraining her. Do you know what I mean? Like again, it's like the Politisbergy kind of people again, the people who think that Pippa's secretly a Nazi unironically.
To be fair, with what Canada does, I understand why some people would be making those jokes about Face Connect.
Yeah, they want clips. Pippa is a good way of saying it. Yeah, Clipper, Clipkin Clipper instead of Pipkin Pippa is what they want. Yeah. Jelly is literally an illegal alien. Oh my god! And I thought I was racist. That's a joke, by the way. Never ask a slightly right accentuate the color of his Oshi. No, I've gained an appreciation for Pippa and FaZe on another level. I mean, yeah, it's not to apologise for FaZe Connect. They did fuck up, and they do need to answer for it. They should have said nothing, and now they're reaping the consequences. But it's like any fan of, like, well, fan of the talents, not FaZe Connect, but to support the talent is to support FaZe Connect to some regard, because they want and need FaZe Connect to achieve their goals and desires in VTubing. But it's like, look, I just want FaZe Connect to do right by the talents, and, you know, give them the resources, by extension, the fans, the resources they need to succeed. And I'm just rooting for the talents, and by extension FaZe Connect, to do well so they can get what they deserve. Really, it's that simple. I don't want to see FaZe Connect burn and crash to the ground because I'm angry at what they've done. To me, this looks like just a case of incompetence built from years of technical or process debt that they haven't fixed. And so I'll be keeping an eye on them if they are like a black company in the end. Obviously, that will change, but I just want for everyone to learn from this, improve going forwards, and for things to go back to the way they were, where it's just a bunch of silly girls being funny on the way to becoming mega idols. It's that simple, really.
Essentially, the mindset you want is I'm angry because FaZe should be doing better and can be doing better. They just aren't doing better.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, and I guess
because you want them to succeed.
Yes, exactly. I get what people's complaints are with FaZe as well. Is that some people, you know, they want FaZe to just be an entertainment company and not a stepstone for another streamer click. Maybe some people feel like FaZe Connect is like the culture is changing, and they're not.
We've seen what happened when a corporation becomes too cliquey with Vishojo, so, you know, we don't need a repeat of that, and I understand why some people would be upset at that.
Oh, because someone's ringing my door. That's why you hear a ring doorbell. Got a new doorbell installed. It's quite loud. I don't know how to turn it down.
Wow.
Yeah, it's quite loud. But yeah, I guess we'll leave it there then. That's our 3 hours. So yeah, is there anything you want else to say, Zan, before you wrap up?
Well, watch Dizzy.
Watch Dizzy. How yeah. Zan, thank you very much for the collab, buddy. Thank you very much for the Yap session. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, thank you.
Actually, I guess I could leave like an anecdote at the end. I think we've talked about it at Vexpo. I don't know if you remember. We were actually supposed to collab a year ago, but you kind of just forgot and it never happened.
I have a tendency to do that, unfortunately. You can ask anyone. I forget if I'm not reminded. Yeah. Sorry, my bad.
So this collab is 1 year late, but we did it, guys.
But we finally did it. We finally did it, guys. Yeah, we got there in the end. You can ask Pascal
the collab
Saucer.
Was the friend we made along the way.
You can ask like Nova Crusader and Pascal Saucer. They'll be like, "Are you ready for the collab today?" And I'm like, "Oh shit, I forgot. Thanks." But guys, I've got Zan's Twitter profile location thingy bob in the stream description below.
Introduce me to Pascal Saucer and company.
Yeah, okay, we can do that. Actually, let me copy the link and post it in chat as well. So guys, if you want to, oh my god, it's not working. Hang on. Let me go on X. Actually, just grab the link. Raw giggity.
However, I'm sorry guys, but I will not be joining the Face Clipper and Orbit femboy craze. I don't want to do that.
Hey,
or getting like a female model. No, that's not me. I'm sorry.
But yeah, guys, if you want to follow Zan, keep up to date with VTubing, PR, business analysis, yeah, head on over to Zan's profile there, follow him, and yeah, I think you're going to be streaming at some point, aren't you, Zan, as well? You're going to be a streamer yourself.
I'm going to try.
You're going to try.
I'm going to be pretty honest. It's going to be a lot of gaming, probably.
Fair enough. Yep. Good stuff. All right. So, yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching. And I will speak to you all later. Oh, yeah, I love that kind of stuff. So, yeah, thank you very much, guys. And Zan, thank you very much for the collab. I will speak to you later, buddy.
Take care, guys.
Take care. Bye-bye. Alrighty, there we go. God, I'm desperate for a piss myself now. Should have gone earlier. So guys, thank you very much for watching today's stream. That was basically a completely, what's the words? We didn't really have anything structured or planned for this. It was literally a case of, hey, do you want to have a yapping session about stuff? And I was like, yeah, okay, why not? So that's why this suddenly showed up now. I literally put up the waiting room 30 minutes before we went live. So that's why this came out of nowhere. But yeah, so thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for watching Phase Slander 4, if you did. I'm addicted to my own video. I can't stop watching Phase Slander myself. I'm addicted to watching my own video. I love Alex Jones. But for the rest of this week, on Thursday, I've got the next round of the Oshi Push tournament. Sentinel will be on holiday for a week, so I don't think we will finish the Phase tournament now until not the end of next week, but probably the end of the week afterwards, maybe, around about that time. But within the next 2 weeks, we'll have the Phase Clipper tournament resolved, and there's been an update with the prize reward. So the prize for winning the Oshi Push tournament is $400 and a Skeb card of any Generation 1 Phase talent. But now, because of how long set 3 is, now the winner of the Oshi Push tournament can also design a Skeb card for Phase Alias at the same time. So let's say, for example, I don't know, let's say Takenako wins the tournament. We could see a Skeb card of Irie in a buddy suit or something, or in her cute and cuddly onesie. Something like that, I suppose. So now Phase Alias can be a Skeb card, not just Origins, which is pretty cool. I'm looking forward to seeing what the design, what the winner of the tournament will decide to design. We'll see how that goes. That's like 2 years worth of clip play. Yeah, it's probably why I was able to get interest in the tournament from the Clippers. Like, oh, $400 for playing a children's card game. Hell yeah. Uruka having a skirt review whilst Tenma, yeah, says a lot about the Phase fandom. That's very true. Uruka is now grooming Phase Connect fans into becoming femboys. I thought we had enough of that problem with like Rie and Hime and Amy. It's getting even, and Pippa as well. Now it's getting worse. But yeah, thank you guys, and enjoy the rest of your day. Oh yeah, how's this going to affect the documentary? You probably need a whole section for it. Well, I'm ending the Phase Connect documentary at the moment at the end of year 3. So what's that? That's June. Well, I'm going to end it at the New York NYC 3D concert. So August 2024 is when I'm ending the Phase Connect documentary. So part 3 will be a lot longer. It will be even longer now than it was going to be already, because I'm going to have to cover Clara in its entirety. Whereas before, I wasn't going to mention the PL stuff with Clara because it hadn't really broken containment at a major level. But now that Asmongold has covered the Clara stuff, and now like literally probably millions of people have seen it, I think at this point it's like, okay, it's public enough now where I suppose I have to, it's not that it's okay, but I suppose it's not really a problem to talk about it now. The thing is, my policy on doing these documentaries is that if I'm going to bring something up that's really controversial, then there needs to be, I'm going to protect people if there's nothing to be gained by bringing it up, right? It's kind of my policy. So I'm not going to bring up like Vietnam or stuff like that, because like just knowing about Vietnam just doesn't benefit anyone, right? Like no one gains anything from that. It's just going to open up old wounds and like cause drama for the sake of drama when there's nothing to gather from it, really. So I don't want to bring stuff like that up again. But stuff that does like make Phase Connect all talents look bad will be fair game, right? So we will be bringing up stuff like Pippa and the Shekel stream, Ethan Ralph stream, Metica, Lumi and the Skinwalker incident. Not quite sure about Camelot and Recreator Law at the moment. The problem is with doing Camelot and Recreator Law stuff is that it goes from being a Phase Connect documentary and it goes into the territory of being a Pippa and arguably to some extent lolcow, or at least Sector, or it just becomes something completely different from a Phase Connect documentary. So I'm not sure if like just mentioning Camelot and Recreator will just detract the entire thing and and just take it away from being a phase documentary. I'm not sure on that yet. So we'll see about stuff like that, basically. The phase to locale pipeline, yeah. So that's kind of like the policy, I suppose, on how I'm doing the documentary, is to respect, you know, the personal information and some of the drama that people don't need to be reminded of, basically. No need for that stuff to get added. Maybe as a side quest vid or something. Yeah, I think the problem is with Camelot and Mercator is that on the one hand, it does detract from it being a phase documentary, but at the same time, mentioning that stuff is important to understanding Sakana as a CEO, like holistically, when you want to speak about like the culture and the decisions made by Sakana, right? So it's tricky. So I guess when I get to that part, I'm pretty sure that would come up in part 2 of the documentary. So when I get to that part in Phase Connect's development and I think about how to structure that part of it, I'll consider as to whether it's worth putting that in or not. At the moment, probably not. Probably takes it away too much. And again, it's also important because that stuff is important to knowing why Lumi is called Reformed on Twitter and what happened to her posting history before 2023. But again, I'll get when I get there. I'll think about it. When I get there. Yeah, the thing is as well, the Camelot situation is just super fucking gay as well, and it's like, ugh, it's not really something I particularly want to bring up again either. But the question is whether it's important to bring up that it needs to be, I guess, mentioned in a phase documentary. Not sure. Have to go back and remind myself exactly what happened and determine whether it is worth putting in. Probably not. But anyway. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and I will speak to you all. Oh, wait, actually, let's raid someone. I keep forgetting to raid when I'm not doing a major stream. So yeah, feel free to head off and do whatever you want, whenever you want. But I'm going to see if I can raid someone. No one I'm following is raiding, and at the moment, I'm really apprehensive about raiding a Phase Connect talent at present because of the whole jelly stream I did. Is again, I don't want to. Again, I don't want to involve myself too much with the Phase Connect community because I don't speak for them. I don't want to represent them. I don't want to insert myself too much into them either. I want to make it very clear that, you know, I don't want people bringing me up in talent streams or on the Phase Discord, really. So I don't want to make myself too known like that. Yeah, so there's no one to raid. So I'll just end stream here. Thank you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.